Hey all you dumpster divers, welcome to Movie Garbage, the film that will shock you, rock you, and terrify you. This is Ed Bobbinchak, and we did Fantastic Dinosaurs of the movies. Action highlights from SFX Classics. I don't know with that voice. I'm Ed, and of course joining me with his goof is Matt.
Fantastical, unbelievable. I tell you, it could happen.
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 The genre, science fiction.
Double feature.
I was gonna say.
We did a double feature. Oh shit! I mean, that's the third one already now.
Hell yeah! And also, Dr. X will build a creature. Androids fighting and fucking and sucking on Brad and Janet.
Richard O'Brien.
Hell yeah! Yeah, a lot of alums. Boy, this was a fantastic movie of dinosaurs that I told Ed a billion times that huge part of my life growing up, my insane brain obsession with dinosaurs since I was a child. My dad bought me this shitty little VHS tape in a bright yellow box, and I wore that thing the hell out watching this insanely stupid, terrible documentary. That's not even a documentary. I've heard it referred to as a showcase as opposed to a documentary, which I guess is just like a weird highlight reel of commercials, which is...
It really, this was basically, it was all a bunch of just commercials for a bunch of films.
Yeah, but it was fun. Actually, it was fun seeing this weird flashback because the fucking trailers and shit, like the average, I looked up the years for all the movies that were in this involved. Mm-hmm. The average year is about 54 to 56 is like the average for these movies.
I believe that.
Yeah, but now it's time for me to age ourselves into dust again. This VHS came out in 1990.
Which is surprising that it came out in 1990 and advertised films from the 50s. Yeah,
you want to... Okay, now here's the spell that's going to gray our hair several times over. Since it came out in 1990 and the average age of the movies is going to be 1956, that was 34 years ago. So these trailers are from 34 years prior. Now, Ed, the year is 2025. Do you know when 35 years ago was? 1990.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this would be like the exact same as a movie.
I'm about to turn 35.
Yeah. A trailer coming out now, or a movie coming out now that's just a bunch of trailers from 1990.
This came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
Like, watching it now, like, if it came out in summer of 1990, literally it came out as I was born.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit older than me.
Yeah, but the discretion between now and 1990, does it feel as bad as it does from those fucking black and white piece of shit movies to 1990? What do you think of in your head when you think of the 1990s?
That does not look like something that these trailers did not feel like they were from the 90s. Even the 80s, the 70s were like, some of them I could see being 70s.
Yeah, there's one movie from, I think, the early 80s. There's like at least one or two that are from 77. No, those are from the 50s. The first, the Jason and the Argonauts is from the 53.
That one...
And then another one, wow. Yeah. And then the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, I believe, is about 60. I'm gonna guess right now, but I think it's in like the early 60s.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very fucking weird.
It's definitely odd, and it's
it feels way longer, but I guess that's just the difference in technology.
Yeah, in general. It's funny that there's most of them are from this 50s era because like there's a lot of especially near the end, I got a lot of similarities on stuff. Mm-hmm. But something I actually enjoy at times, and it's something we don't get to see. And I'm going to age myself. We're going to age a little bit more here. So like, and even Blu-rays don't do this anymore because they actually update.
Yeah.
But have you ever put in an old DVD and you get to watch all the
trailers?
The trailers.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, not just because you see things you recognize, but you can tell what they thought was going to be the next giant blockbuster.
Yeah, what they thought was going to be so intense. Look at this weird movie that you had never heard of except for outside of this DVD for Mission Impossible 2 or whatever the hell.
But like, and this is kind of was like that. It was like, there's some of these films I have heard of, but there were some I have never heard of.
I mean, the majority I would have never heard of if I didn't watch this specific ridiculous thing.
There was some I could recognize, like getting remade up or reference.
Yeah. We'll talk about remakes and stuff because there's a shit ton of them that I've seen.
Yeah, but like I know like Them is on there, and like I recognize that one. I think my dad I watched it with my dad, And like there was another film that was an older one. I forget the exact name. It was a Japanese film. It was like Attack of the Mushroom People.
Oh gosh.
And it would have. I mean, if you played the trailer into this, it would have fit just as well.
Yeah.
Though I mean, obviously the only difference is that this did have a theme. Which, and ironically, like, they said dinosaurs, but not all of them were dinosaurs. Like,
there was at least 2 that were giant spider movies.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them are mutants, and there's an octopus movie.
Yeah. I mean, the octopus makes sense a bit, because it's, like, prehistoric.
It's also, also one of the artists who we're going to get into in a bit. Ray Harryhausen is the one who did that one. But, but before that, obviously, broad topics into specifics.
I mean, to be fair, though, this is going to be just a straight up.
Yeah, straight up, just list of trailers.
Yeah.
Speaking of trailers, trailer culture. We talked about it in a couple movies ago about like the ones from the 90s that would just like express the entire plot of the movie and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like this had a couple that were like that, like the ones that were just like a weird actor or actress just like boredly explaining the plot of the movie over the entire trailer, just spoiling like they're gonna do this, watch them defeat the villain in this way, and it's just like showing every single scene that happens.
Yeah, they definitely did that, but at the same time, and maybe it's because I haven't seen them, it didn't feel as egregious as some of them do. Though if you watch, like I've watched the original Rocky Horror trailer, and it literally lays out the entire plot. I mean, there's a weird. Trailers have definitely hit like they peaked, they dropped. There was a moment I do remember there being a lot of good trailers, but then like it's just. I know we talked about it with Monster Hunter because that trailer pissed me off. But like a lot of these, some of them And I think, too, it could be just the genre itself. Because, like, I know, it's one of your favorites, like Rodan.
Yeah.
Like, that was one that I noticed that even just, it didn't give much away.
No.
But it it gave across, like, the sense that Rodan was the most unintentionally destructive monster.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that alone was probably one of the most intriguing things. Because I was like, because then we paused it and you showed me the new one.
Yeah.
And I got that same kind of sense. Because, like, the trailer just did a good job at that moment of like, yes, it's Rodan, but like, I didn't get any sense of what would defeat it or take it out.
Yeah. When I tell you, when we get to that movie, like what the actual plot of that movie is, that trailer did not convey that in the slightest. It is so much weirder than you think.
There were a few. I mean, I know too. I have to go through the notes, but there's the one where they capture the kid apparently, and it's the mom.
Yeah.
That was one that they could have they put too much information in.
You should have saved that for the actual movie to surprise people.
Especially because if you you learned about it, you watched that trailer after you watched it. Because they even in the beginning, what does this kid know that the adults don't? That would have been a great way to actually
get people intrigued into seeing the movie.
Right, but then at the same point, then you watch the trailer and you know it. It's like, oh, like it would have been a nice little gotcha moment.
Yeah, they literally show like this is the infant and this is the adult. Okay, we'll spoil the whole fucking movie. Thanks.
Yeah. Trailers.
I know there's I was listening to one of Scott Aukerman's dozens of podcasts, and he was talking about how when he was working on his movie, the Between Two Ferns movie, I think it was one of his movies that he directed. He's talking about how there's a specific company in LA that specifically does trailer cutting. Like they get the movie and that specific company does the cutting and editing and stuff. The director or the editor from the actual movie may have a little bit of insight, but like most of the time, like most people outsource to that company. I didn't catch the name of it. I didn't write it down. But like they do most of the trailer cutting from what they have or what footage they're allowed to access.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And also pisses me off because like I feel like trailers, they are important.
Incredibly.
Like there's gonna be films that we're all gonna like. You could tell me like the 28 years later could be incredible or it could be awful, but like that's not gonna change my opinion on going to see it.
Yeah, if anything, that weird like World War II song about like 11, 6, 5, they're coming down again. It's like I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but this sounds terrifying and I want to see it.
But like I feel like there's just a lost art. I feel like making trailers is a lost. I feel like it's got to be an actual art form, and the fact that one company seems to be doing most of them tracks because it feels like they're not understanding it, and I think too like one of my favorite things at times is when you see jokes in the trailer that is like funny enough. But then you see that scene in the movie and it's not that scene.
Yeah.
I have seen that before. I can't think of the example I'm thinking of, but I've seen that at times. And like I actually think that is the best way to bring people in.
Yeah.
you know.
The have you seen the new Naked Gun trailer yet?
No.
It's it's a very short trailer with only like 2 or 3 jokes, but they are incredibly funny. But I've seen that trailer like 1,000 times because I go to the movies all the time. But I'm still intrigued in seeing the movie, and there's a new trailer, and I'm purposely not seeing it. That's another thing because like I said in the last one we did, I try to avoid trailers for things I'm really excited for. At least until I get to a movie theater to see them, like in big, maximum sound and everything. But like, yeah, most most action movies I see, obviously every Marvel movie I go see, every single one in the theater. But like action movies like the John Wick movies, I try to avoid looking those up on my own time. But if I find myself in the theater, I'm happy to see them in that context. One of the biggest, mind-blowing, breaking trailer things, of course, we have to mention it because it's always a threatening, looming thing over the podcast. Force Awakens. Do you remember that first trailer that came out in November of 2015 or whatever?
I can't say I actually remember.
It was no dialogue, just a couple of tone scenes, I think a quick scene of the lightsaber, a quick scene of like a ship flying and like a desert planet, and then like Rey on an island. You see Finn, but it was like just a tone trailer with no dialogue.
Do remember that.
It got so much praise universally for being so massively intriguing that like everyone was just like, oh shit, we gotta see this fucking movie. And that movie like is number one probably still in like the money making movies because Star Wars. But it was after the prequel trilogy that everyone despised at the time. Now everyone loves and hates the sequels. Was like
fair. They just hate the Last Jedi, and then
they don't
understand.
The Last Jedi was divisive, and then everyone.
Last Jedi was incredible.
Yeah. I would say one of these days. But yeah, that tone trailer of no sound and just scenes and the Star Wars, the score like blew people's minds as how like intriguing that was.
Like I bet you if you were to look it up, I will bet you that they did not outsource that trailer.
Probably not. I'm sure they did that with their own editors.
And I think that's where because honestly too there's also a massive shift because nowadays people will take and create their whole opinions on something based on pre-release footage.
Oh yeah.
And we can connect this to video games somewhat too, because I even felt somewhat even victim to it, to something that's not even as huge. So when Monster Hunter Wilds was in the beta, and I think I might have even mentioned this in our podcast, I played the beta and I was not a fan of the beta. Mm-hmm. I was worried about the game when I played the beta because I was like, I don't feel confident, and I can and Matt can attest that I have put in way too much time since. I cannot speak highly enough about Monster Hunter Wilds. It is again genuinely the best Monster Hunter game I have played.
Yeah,
and we will go into more Monster Hunter stuff eventually. But that pre stuff, and you see it even too, because again I'm big into Pokemon, and the amount of people making up their decisions on pre-release beta footage.
Oh yeah,
is insane. And I understand. I think what pisses me off about it, and in general with trailers and why they're important and just not, they are extremely valuable, but they're not they do take a precision to it. Is because people pick them apart because when you only have 3 minutes tops of footage, or hell, more often than not 30 seconds, because you put something on TV. Those 30 seconds need to do a job of intriguing you, but not going stale. But you at the same time too, I don't know. People will make their full decisions and opinions based on it, which pisses me off because I understand, yes, you want good quality, and yes, you want these things to be well and look good or play good and act good and be a generally good thing. Yeah. But pre-launch stuff is yes, you could argue, well, this is the stuff they should have selected the best of, but at the same point, the best things they shouldn't be showing off in the trailers. Yeah. If it was up to me, if there's ever any end things in a film, A, no dialogue,
nothing from the
B,
third
no
act.
context.
Yeah, nothing from the third act should be a policy.
Yes,
yeah.
Especially too, there are films, I think Monster Hunter film did it. The entire trailer was just the end of the movie, spliced together with
Rathalos fighting planes, and then Gorb Magalo. It's exactly.
I could go. I'm gonna.
The trailer was shit. On the topic of video games specifically, there's 2 things I'm going to talk about. One about a specific game, and then one about just a conceptual thing. Which do you think I should go into first?
You choose. Surprise me.
All right,
Surprise me.
When it comes to, I still to this day watch all of the. I used to follow E3 every year. I watched it from beginning to end. All conferences, even the ones I don't follow, like PC and Xbox, I would watch from beginning to end just because I love seeing the trailers and shit. To this day, I still, if I see exclusively pre-rendered CG trailer, my brain just immediately brushes it off as no one cares. Who cares? This isn't actual in-game footage. It's just bull shots to fucking convince people that to be interested in the idea of it. It's difficult because if it's like a narrative-based game and so cutscenes are important like that, sure. But if it's just a no gameplay, not in-engine, pre-rendered CG trailer for a game, that literally means like less than nothing to me. I don't process it at all, and I don't care, and I'm not invested because that means to me that you don't have anything actual provable to show at that moment. So you're wasting everyone's fucking time. Go to the next thing.
See, I think that's where, like, depending on the game genre, it definitely would change one thing or the other. And I feel like too at the same time, like, could have been like they could have been, and it's probably good. And if anyone wants to go on this topic more, just watch anything that Stephanie Sterling has done.
Absolutely,
because
incredible.
She's been covering this stuff before it was even a conversation. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like they ruined it because I think that there would be times, like I bet you, like if Resident Evil had used that to introduce something, kind of thing, like especially too because like when you're putting something on television like that, E3 on television or the Game Choice Awards, like those are the moments where you put things in to intrigue people. Yeah. And I obviously you want some gameplay, but I wouldn't hate it if they used it in the right context, or whatever. And it was used more so to show off the story instead of trying to show off how good because like I think that I think on my thoughts I lost for a second. What pisses me off about pre-rendered trailers is when that is being presented as how the game will look and not what the game will be about. Absolutely. I think that right there is the biggest conflict for me. Like, a game that uses pre-rendered footage to introduce the theme, the topic, and all that without giving away certain elements, would be really, really good. Whereas one using it to say, look how amazing this is our in-game engine, look how beautiful it's going to look, it's like, that's not telling me anything. That's pre-rendered stuff. Yeah. Like, all right, you have a good cutscene, but I have played games where I've got, like, honestly, and I love this game, and this is not even a dig on it, but The Last Defense Academy has cutscenes, and they are very good cutscenes. But the vast majority of the game is it's Danganronpa style, where you have the animated sprites over text box. If you try to say the game looked like those cutscenes, and then I got that, I would be pissed. Yeah. Whereas if you used a cutscene like that to introduce the concept of the game, I wouldn't be as upset because you threw the context behind it. And I think that's where trailers can really thrive, is when the context of the trailer is used to intrigue people and not promote what it even is about fully, but what the idea behind it is.
Of course. And also, fortunately, the main issue with like shitty pre-rendered trailers and stuff, it's less of a thing now because game technology is at the point where they can just show anything in engine and it'll look like a fucking cutscene. We're recording this 2 days before Death Stranding 2.
Did it really come out 2 days from now?
Yeah, 2 days from now. I haven't not watched a single fucking trailer for that movie. That game, a movie, pretty much a fucking movie. I've not watched. Yeah, and now it's completely out.
So
I have not watched any trailers for it, but I've seen single images. I've seen single characters' names. I've seen Deborah Wilson.
Wait, on Tuesday? Oh, that's right. Games come out on Tuesdays. Well, except for Nintendo.
Yeah, I've seen a single frame of like Deborah Wilson with two left hands and Doctor. I saw that fucking Metal Gear guy with the fucking bandana. I'm like, what the hell is Solid Snake doing in here?
I saw
no context, but
I saw something with like actual like not a I don't think it was a toddler. It was like a child. Yeah. And Norris. I remember the original trailer, and it told you nothing about the game.
It was just a ghost baby crawling down naked Norman Reedus, and then a bunch of ghosts in the sky and a crazy black beach. And I was like, this is insane. Give me.
I have put enough time into that game. I platinumed that
Hell
game.
Yeah.
Which anyone who's played Death Stranding knows, like, you have to get every facility. You have to do like multiple things at facilities. You have to get every facility rank up to like the top star, which requires multiple delivery upon delivery upon delivery. Like, I literally spent like days putting together a zip line
Yeah.
thing. So and in those mountains is a pain because you have to like find like the perfect points to be able to connect them.
Oh God, there's a gnat in here that's literally like buzzing between me and Ed's faces.
Oh yeah,
It's insane. Anyway,
so like I put in like probably hundreds of hours into Death Stranding. You could play the trailer for me, and I still have the first game, every single one of them, and I still cannot be like, yeah, this trailer probably tells me nothing.
yeah, that every piece of marketing for that game leading up to its release, you saw like a weird tank with a bunch of organs and Guillermo del Toro running around with a fake baby. Like, what the hell is happening? You see a cool ass Mads Mikkelsen and a bunch of fucking skeleton ghost soldiers. You're like, this makes no sense. And guess what? The game's about fucking you're a UPS man.
In the future.
Yeah, in a post-apocalypse. We're gonna get that fucking gnat at one of these points. But yeah, like that's a fun thing. But also that was all in engine. And another thing, did you see? I don't know if you saw like the equivalent of E3 at this point, the
also,
showcases.
Real quick before you go into that,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that Death Stranding 2 comes out that soon, and I'm like tempted.
Let's pause this recording and open up your PS5 and buy it now.
I've got it on my wish list. I gotta wait till at least payday. But like, I'm at the point like, do I stop making my 100 some weapons left and upgrades and to play that, or do I wait?
Did I finally catch it? Yay! Now watch there be another one. We'll find in a couple seconds.
Probably. But like, do I take a break from Monster Hunter Wilds? Also, I gotta have the physical edition.
I mean, what it sounds like to me, Ed, is that you have. God, there's another one already. It sounds like to me that you need to kick it into high gear in the next 2 days and try to get 100% in the game.
I've got
those 100 multiplayer matches within the next 2 days before Death Stranding comes out.
I mean, I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna go to GameStop to pick it up.
Yeah.
Do they have a collector's edition?
Damn it.
They have a collector's edition for it?
Got another one.
Nice.
Sorry if I was rubbing on your couch. But we can't get distracted.
Do they have a collector's edition for it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, probably.
God damn it.
But yeah, the new trailers, I know the new tone trailers for that thing are also inexplicable, but did you see the showcases this year, the PlayStation?
Nothing.
Okay, you didn't see the Resident Evil 9?
Nope.
Okay, it's fucking a bunch of creepy, weird stuff that makes no sense. And guess what? I'm fucking hype as shit. But it was all in engine, so it's a real trailer that actually all you heard was like this. You see some blonde reporter and like a guy says her last name, and it's the name of you ever play Resident Evil Outbreak?
No, I am not.
That was the one where there's like 9 or 10 characters that you pick, and like you're just a random person in Raccoon City at the end of 2, and you and like a bunch of other multiplayer people are trying to escape the city. And this is PS2 time, so this is a really janky, fucking terrible multiplayer. It's really
that
fucked up and
sounds
bad.
janky as hell.
But but one of those people was a blonde reporter, and it was her mother. And now it's 20-something years later after the 98 Raccoon City nuke, and you see like the entire city of Raccoon City, a big giant nuke crater in the city. It's like, it's been years. It's been 20 years since that. Wow. So like, yeah, and I'm hyped as hell. No story, no character names except for this one Ashcroft woman, and like, it's just like, I'm hyped. Trailers fucking rule.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, also like with trailers and kind of staying on video games, I know this is a big thing. Again, Stephanie Sterling's been talking about this for years. Is the and it's, I think too, it's part of the problem is the pre-rendered like demos.
Yeah.
Like they use gameplay that clearly like is like not live. Yep. Like these are put together gameplay. Like I remember Anthem was big with that one.
That's literally what I wanted to bring up. My specific example I wanted to bring up. Anthem. If you want to look up the long, insane storied history of that giant flop and waste of everyone's time, BioWare did not have jack shit ready. What they had was a quote unquote gameplay. What's it called? Vertical slice. So it's just like a big giant montage of the best stuff and like cool ideas and cool fighting and flying and cutscenes and Iron Manning. They had that vertical slice trailer they made, but that's literally all they had that E3.
I mean,
they didn't make jack shit else, and they showed that to EA, and EA was just like, excellent, put it on the fucking floor, and then that game was not even like not even a fucking fart of a dream in the fucking dev leader's head.
Ubisoft did that with The Division as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, and it was the cringy, they're playing and it's like, oh, they're talking as if they're actually playing multiplayer, and like you and I would be playing like when we play Monster Hunter next to each other, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go after this, I'm gonna go for this, or I'm gonna go for this, the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and it is upsetting too, and it's also why too at times like I feel like trailers, while they can be good, they can also oversell the movie or game at times, because like you think about like the fact like if you're gonna put out a good, that's why I think the best trailers are ones that create intrigue without hard creating expectations. And I think too like there needs to be a shift culturally in society because I think people take these and they run. Because again, I'm excited for certain things, and I will watch something, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But I temper my expectations somewhat, A, to help myself protect myself, and B, because I've been burned too many times. And I also do that conversely. Like I think people take trailers and they take these small snippets and they go too far extreme with shit, which is its own conversation about like society in general. Yeah. Going too far extremes, like there's the there's. If you're looking at a body of work, like, yes, you can have extreme, Star Wars, we can have extreme views one way or the other, but at the same time, like, you're looking at, that's with a massive, thing, a trailer is not that. And especially, even if it's for a franchise, like, you can love a franchise, but there's some franchise that you love that's got a stinker in it, and there's a franchise that you hate, but there's something in it that's good and enjoyable. Trailers need to be centrist. Yeah. You can be excited for something, but you're not going to call it the next coming of Jesus Christ. You could think that something doesn't look great and you're not overly excited about it, but you're willing to be surprised. Yeah. And sometimes too, even that if a trailer turned you off, like if you saw something in there that you didn't hate but you're turned off by it, wait till it comes out and it's cheaper, and you can be thoroughly surprised because sometimes the best things you'll find when you're not as hyped about it. Yeah, I would say, I was closing out the topic of trailers. Do you know the last time you were like truly, I mean, we have a lot more to discuss. We're already almost half an hour into this episode. Well, I mean, you said closing out trailers. The movie is trailers. Yeah, just trailers. No, the closing out video. Do you know the last time you were like wildly moved by a trailer recently? Because I'll tell you that I went to see some random like horror or action movie. Maybe Final Destination. It may have been this weird thing called The Skylight or something like that. A really fun movie. But during the trailer, during it, they showed a trailer for the movie I posted about in our Discord, The Long Walk. Did you get a chance to watch that trailer yet? I have not. Okay, I saw that in theaters, and I was so blown away by that trailer. And it said, at the end it said, based on the novel by Stephen King. In the movie theater, which I never do, I pulled out my phone, opened up Audible, found the Long Walk novel, and bought it immediately in the theater that second. That trailer was so fucking fantastic. It was, I didn't know nothing. I've never heard of the book or the movie before. But that trailer fucking, pulled my fucking a brain out of my fucking eyeballs. I was so like, holy shit, I have got to see this right now. I bought a fucking book in the middle of the theater to see them, to get in on that fucking thing, because that trailer was so incredible. I'll show it to Ed if we remember afterwards. In like 3 hours when we're done this. If I remember. Yeah. But do you know last time you were like wildly moved? Like, oh my god! Another thing. There was another movie that I like, pulled my phone. I was like, I wrote down the release date of it. Weapons. A movie called Weapons. It's like honestly, I'm not going to tell you anything else about the movie, but like all the children in this one elementary school, like it's like overnight, they in the one class, they all disappeared. There's one teacher's class. He's like a regular like blonde lady teacher, but like every single student in her class disappeared overnight when they went home that night, but just her classroom. And like the movie's just everyone freaking out. Obviously, all the parents. You're a parent. Could you fuck? That's insane. But it's like, and then you see all these creepy, crazy things happening, and it's just like, no. I pulled my phone out, found the fucking date for when that movie released. So I think it's like August or something like that. And I was like, fucking like August, Weapons. Go see this fucking movie immediately. I can't honestly say I remember a time that a trailer like hard excited me. In all honesty, like, or that I mean, like, yeah, I'm full disclosure, you don't go to like theaters that often recently. Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, I did back in the day, but I got 2 kids. Like this month is an outlier for me. Of course. I say knowing that this will come out after they're back. Oh no, this is not gonna come out till fucking like September probably or some shit. Yep. So, but like there were, I can't think of, because most things nowadays, like there's trailers I might be seeing and be interested in, but I just don't have the freedom and time and thoughts to hold on to it. More often than not, I also can be like, I'm just gonna watch I watch ironically, I watch a lot of trailers because my wife likes to watch trailers before we watch the movie a lot. Yeah. So like that's where I watch most trailers. And I gotta be careful at times too, because there's that era, and especially older stuff especially is bad with it, where they just give away the entire film. Oh yeah. And especially out like I think too, like every genre had like some genres are better. Like action films, I can see get away with it sometimes because you get the snippets of action, like those scenes at the very least can like build off of this cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
But like comedies are the worst film. Like those things
they'll show some of the best jokes just to fucking get you into it, but that makes the fucking movie not worth seeing.
Exactly. Like we did Jack and Jill. Like they even ironically like their quick delivery on some of the jokes, like in the opening like dinner scene.
Yeah.
Probably they honestly played overall better than in the film when it was a lot when it drug on.
Yeah.
So it's like that 3 seconds, cut down version of the joke was actually kind of funnier than the full 1 minute long, setup and delivery and punchline and all that of the joke. Horror film's another one too, and this will kind of bleed back into this because like something that some trailers do and some don't is I hate it when trailers give away like the especially in horror when they give away the hard mystery.
Oh yeah, did you see Barbarian?
I've not actually.
The trailer is just the first 10-15 minutes of that movie. The trailer is probably they cut down to about cut down to like 3-4 minutes, but it's just like the only thing they show is like just like straight up narrative, like cut up the first 10-15 minutes of that movie, and that's the trailer. And that fucking movie is absolutely incredible.
I've heard it's really good.
It's fantastic. Look up the trailer and like I said, that's like the fucking beginning of the movie, and it gets fucking crazier every single second.
And one thing I hate too is like especially when you watch a trailer before and you watch the movie. When you watch the movie and like you see scenes that have no like real connection to the film, it's like, oh, that was just made because they knew that would be a trailer moment. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much I'm alone on this. Like, I have to rewatch the trailer, I'm sure, but I guarantee you the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I will bet you that there were a lot of scenes there that were only made for the trailer.
Yeah, like or it's that one sequence where those like 5 randos break into the thing after hours. Like that. Yeah. That sequence would be the only thing.
Well, the opening sequence itself pissed me off. I hated that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I did not like that movie.
Yeah,
I genuinely.
I mean, after Willy's Wonderland, like that movie didn't have a chance to be interesting.
But I mean, like it did have a chance to be interesting, and the problem was,
and it took that Willy's Wonderland script and had Nick Cage like it was originally supposed to.
I mean, there's that, but I mean, Matthew Lillard was great, and it's just
great.
I think the problem was that it's something that some films do, and that's its own different conversation. It's like when films, especially adaptations, come out, they utilize expectations of it, and I get that you can use that to an extent. Like you don't have to go hard deep into the full lore behind stuff, but at the very least, you need to introduce the concept at times, like. Yeah, I was actually watching John Mulaney's skit about Back to the Future, and he was like, they never tell you how Marty and Doc Brown become friends. They even do they're like, not even a throwaway line of like, oh yeah, when you were my, back when I was a teacher and you were, whatever, or when you saved my life, or did you do this thing? They just are friends from the beginning of the film, and that's never explained.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even do like that throwaway line, like. There's a lot of times concepts don't get that throwaway line.
Yeah.
But I mean, filmmaking it really is more than just what's in the scene itself and the screen. Like I definitely think that the trailers are a massive part of it.
Oh yeah.
And like I think we can't go a conversation about trailers, even though it's video game related. I mean, PT.
Oh yeah.
PT is genuinely one of the greatest things, and it's sad that it is a lost art. Because I'm not even a Silent Hills fan. Like I like the concept. I like the film. I like the games. Like in concept, I think they're great. I love the lore behind how it even came to be with the fog, the iconic fog that I still when I see it foggy outside, I was like, oh, I woke up at Silent Hill. I mean, that was literally a limitations thing. I love that, but like, I don't like. You could announce it, and I'd be like, all right, I'll probably give it a shot down the line.
Another thing they showed, Silent Hill F, the one in Japan coming out, looks fucking freaky as shit.
That's cool. But, like, I remember, like, I got a chance to play PT, and I remember it. I remember the weird things that I had to do. And I honestly, even though I could not detail it, I could tell you, I remember the end there where you walk out the house, and then he turns around, and it's Silent Hills.
Yeah.
I remember that, and that was at least
Probably
a
well over
decade
10
ago.
years. Yeah, well over 10 years.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
a long. I was after they had taken it down, I think, but not too long after.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I remember that all this time, but I cannot tell you a lot of trailers that I've seen that I was probably said, "Oh, that looks really cool. I'm really excited for that," or "I can't wait to get this."
Yeah, 11
this.
years.
So like, that was what game trailers should be.
Yeah.
And I wish we got more of that. And it doesn't even need to be those convoluted things or a beta test. Like, give me more chances to explore something. Like, how interested would be is like an open world game. Like, it lets you walk around the house and like, you know, interact with things or whatever, and then gave you a quick little fight at the end, and then it was small. It's probably I can't speak on coding, but I guarantee you like that would be something that would be like, oh, this is introducing the world, some of the concepts. I get a taste of the combat or how the gameplay itself is, but it's just a taste, and then you know like that would get me excited because it's again kind of connecting back to what I mentioned, like taking the context. It's putting things into context without giving me the breakdown of things, and it's allowing me to experience it. Because I think that's another thing too is with obviously with video games being a different media form than film, is the speed at which trailers can go. Like that is also interesting to think about because you've got 30 seconds to tell a story, and not everyone's where you put what and what you linger on matters.
Yeah.
I've talked a while, so feel free to.
No, I'll say no. Well, hey, we both talked about it. We're like going on. Yeah, I hate to time the podcast all the time about what we're doing. To keep it on trailers again for fucking a longer amount of time. I already mentioned it twice already. The showcase, the PlayStation event that just happened, the Xbox event, and the Switch, the Direct, Nintendo Direct. They're all just series of trailers, which are fucking just to get you hyped for shit, and also get the fucking investors know that they're working on stuff. Look at the stuff that happened recently. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff. Suda 51 has a new weird-ass game coming out that everyone from like the first millisecond of the trailer, it's a bunch of weird freaks around the table having like a dinner or something like that, and everyone's like, oh, that's a Suda game. Like, people knew immediately from the tone and everything. But yeah, trailer culture is very weird. Yeah, like I said, we're much more into games than movies, and the showcases of the current, remixing of what E3 used to be with all the game conferences happening around the same time now in the summer. A series of trailers that all look absolutely fantastic. There's so many fun, cool announcements that you can just watch a montage of pop-off freakouts about, like the Marvel fighting game that was announced by ArcSys. I just literally spent like an hour watching all kinds of FGC gaming people absolutely have fucking seizures reacting to the new trailer. And it's just a fucking trailer with like 8 characters, and everyone's like, oh my god, freaking out, screaming, flipping out of their chairs.
Does Devolver Digital still do their thing or no?
I'm certain that they had some kind of thing recently. They always do. They're fantastic.
And I think and it's, again, we're probably still a little more video games than film, but I feel like that is another way, because advertisements are everywhere nowadays. We are all numb to it, and it's funny because it's even more aggressive now, I feel like, than when cable reigned. Which is saying something.
I mean, because they have to get creative because no one's watching TV with commercials for the most part.
Yeah. But back in the day, commercials were the thing you used to go to the bathroom, to grab a drink, to what, or whatnot. Or you would use or especially too, like my dad was big on this. I don't know if your parents did this, but I watched a lot of football, still do. But during the commercials, when I was at home with younger, my dad would use that to switch over to another game going on or something.
Yeah. I used to do that way back when I was a kid. If I was watching something and commercials came out, I would try to see if anything else was on just to not watch them.
Yeah.
I definitely pay for fucking YouTube, whatever, premium to not fucking watch trailers, and guess what? That's the best $20 I fucking spend a month.
I don't, but I also have 2 children, so that $20 is...
Oh, yeah, no.
Goes into them.
Yeah, but I literally have YouTube on 24/7 at work, 24/7 at the house. If I'm playing a game and it's not something that needs 100% concentration, I will have YouTube on my phone going at the same time.
I've always saying...
So no, that's how much I hate commercials anyway. Not trailers, commercials are shitty.
I listen to the Quentin review stuff while at work. I put on videos at work all the time. Though the worst is when I put a video on as I get in the shower, and the second I get in and I start, getting wet, is when a trailer show. It's always, not only is it the double, but then it's the unskippable one, or you get the ones that are 3 minutes long. Yeah. And it's are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna be done with the shower here by the time you get through the second trailer.
Yeah. Commercials are shit, but trailers are all right.
But I feel I was saying my point with that is Devolver Digital, I mean, maybe it's, gotten old and stale independently, but I remember those conferences being,
they were the
showcases.
most fun, yeah.
But, like, I mean, yes, I feel like utilizing art like that and putting in your trailers and your ads is a way to, like, get people to watch and also not skip through it as much. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, there's going to be people who skip through, but I feel like you get people's eyes on it, and that is half the battle.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a part of advertising that doesn't go appreciated as well. Like, it's kind of why, too, at the movies, people will show up late all the time without worry.
Yeah, I also want to talk to you about that one. I know that some theaters, I know the exact amount of time that they will show trailers for. The one I go to now, Silver Spot, I know that there's approximately a half an hour of trailers that they show, and guess what? I fucking love it. I show up on time. It's like movie starts at 3 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well, the movie's not gonna be on until 3:30. And I fucking go in there at 3 o'clock and I watch that half an hour of trailers and I'm very, very happy. Another theater we go to, way far out, Valley View, they have like way less trailers and like their actual start time is more to when the movie actually starts. So you have to be a little bit more. So that's the one that also is a much larger theater with a lot of like close-knit theaters. So whenever I start movie hopping after theater, I know that like it says, like, the marquee says like, okay, I just got out of a movie that started at 1 and now it's 3:30. This next movie starts at around 3:45, so I know exactly I'm about to walk into the movie about to start right now. So I go to that movie and go watch that one. But yeah, I was going to say just a yes or no quick because we're already running off on the first topic I wanted to talk about. Movie trailers before movies. Do you enjoy an excess amount of them, or are you one of the people who would say like I don't mind showing up late and missing some?
I do. I think I usually do like them. Again, it's been a while since I've been able to go. I think 30 minutes is a little too much for me, but I like it when I like it especially and when you get to those theaters that are able to, like if I'm watching a horror film, I don't want to see a trailer for a drama or a comedy or even an action film, and and there's smaller theaters I know like they only have 3-4 screens, so they're gonna advertise what they get no matter what, or what things. I do like when I get to see trailers, but I like it when they're on theme.
Yeah.
And I like it too because I think it's like if I'm in the mood for this, these are things I might like or not. And it kind of gets you ready for the film in a way.
There's actually I was going to finish.
But part of trailers in movies to me still in the theaters is something that you remember, I'm sure, very well when we would go to the Dollar Theater.
Oh, hell yeah.
Game On with John Sally. Yeah. But all the
Maria Menounos. Game On with John Sally. Maria Menounos. Game On with John Sally.
Like when they would use those moments, like some of those.
Oh yeah, the pre-show shit is always bad. Maria Menounos is still doing that shit with Nuvi, I think, or some weird shit. She does that pre-trailer crap all that stuff.
Do they do I bet you there's a company that does all the trailers nowadays.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Game On with John Sally lives in my nightmares.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely been probably more than 15 years ago by this point.
I don't know what he does. I don't know what he did.
I think he's a basketball man. I'm not 100%.
Basketball man?
Yeah, a basketball man.
He's a human basketball. That's about how I remembered in my dreams.
Yeah. Of course, we're incapable of moving forward. Alamo Drafthouse, the movie theater chain that does like the big giant meals you can eat at the movie. They started doing, it's like one of the main LA things, but they started doing a thing where they now show old trailers for movies that are specifically related to the new movie coming out. I don't know if you saw Ryan Coogler's Sinners yet. I mean, probably not. Okay, it's fantastic, but. Before that movie, they showed trailers for, like, Blade, for, like, Fight Club, for, like, all these weird old movies that, but, like, specifically tie into the themes and narrative of the movie you're about to see, but they're all old movies. And just recently, they just, Blue Sky skeeted about the fucking making fun of AMC, because, like I just said, I don't mind a half an hour. AMC's added, a shit ton of trailers in front of their movies, and Alamo Drafthouse threw shade, saying, a pre-show with weird old film clips greater than random-ass commercials. Saying that they're better than, like, the Maria Menounos and John Sally shit. Showing weird old
they put that in the pre-show?
Yeah. Their pre-show is all old movies, trailers. That I think is a very interesting idea.
At Rocky before, we have done stuff like that, where there was, like, a reel of, like, just old like blaxploitation
Yeah.
and like those like sex films that
Oh,
would
yeah.
get trailer like that would get like released, or they weren't like full on sex films, but they were like in that same genre.
raunchy.
And like so as people are walking into the theater, there's just random like trailers for like from like probably the same era as this.
Oh, yeah.
Or a little bit later. Well, definitely later, probably like 70s. And all that, but you see all these random trailers for films you've never heard of, and
Oh, yeah. That's
you know,
funny.
like the Killer Bee Queens that are all these half-naked ladies,
course.
and you know they come to Earth to seduce men.
Yeah, that's
Stupid shit
funny.
like that. We used to play those sometimes before the.
I think that would be better than Game On with John Sally poisoning another brain.
I mean, I like it when they do like some.
I mean, I don't care.
I don't.
about that
I
shit.
don't like it when they do the trivia stuff here and there. It's like okay, whatever.
I don't think I've seen a real trivia thing in years. I remember
I do remember occasionally too, like they'd have like little like sneak peeks and they'd have like an interview with the actor. I didn't mind those as much because there's like this is something that is trying to build hype and having like and actually kind of going into like oh we were really excited we you know this is what we were trying to go for.
Oh
And
yeah.
even if it was a terrible film or it, you know or it was blown smoke, at the very least that's something that is a little more entertaining than an actor giving an interview about like the film that they were
It's
trying
also
to make.
like a post-COVID thing too. Like people saying, "Oh, thank you for coming into the movie theater and seeing movies. It's really important that you come and support the
Well, I
artists."
remember.
and
I remember. No,
they do
I
that shit ton now.
I don't. Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
I just remember like there would be like you know or like oh I'm sure they did it for Harry Potter. It's like you know for this last film we really wanted to try to make sure that we put on you know the action or the director comes up and says something and then the stars say oh, I'm really excited to, you know to show off Harry. I feel like I know this character really well.
Yeah.
And fuck J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, obviously.
But like I like those moments because again those are what game people who did the pre-play demos what they thought they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But even an interview with an actor or a director or something or a special effects artist, those are more interesting because that feels more genuine than a pre-written like a hard like pre-written speech on the stage or someone you know playing like. If you're gonna play something live as a part of your demo, honestly, make mistakes. Like, you should not have the person who knows the game well. You should have somebody playing, and you could be the presenter could talk as someone else playing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, do you remember when when Nintendo showed off Wii Music?
The body is ready.
I used
I'll leave it. I think
probably, but like I remember because it was like Miyamoto and Reggie Phil and all them like they're playing and it was really awkward and like there's a charm in that awkwardness because it tells you that this is what the game is for better or worse. This is what the game is.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want professional musicians playing. I want a bunch of random people playing like I'm gonna probably play that game at home.
Yeah.
You know, because that's gonna set a better real expectation, and I like that when trailers because like that's. And I think that's where true like trailers can win or lose me is like
makes sense.
I want honesty and especially too like I get annoyed when I see a trailer that I'm excited for and then the film is just like fuck all good, you know, or like nothing like it. It's like oh you just lied, but not like a good. I'm okay with a misleading trailer that uses that mislead as part of the narrative like. I want to say Iron Man 3 did that, didn't it?
They didn't suggest shit about the Mandarin, obviously, because that'd be a spoiler.
But they showed Ben Kingsley.
They showed a ton of Ben Kingsley, yeah.
Exactly, and that I think was good because that built into the film. I guess spoilers for Iron Man 3 nowadays, by the way, where like. I mean, that was big part of the film. And Ben Kingsley is not the Mandarin we all expected. He looked like what we thought it was. He had all of the whatever, but that's not what the film's bad guy Mandarin was. It was this other guy. And that was a good... That's how you do trailers as extension of the film. I like that.
Yeah. Also, the funny live trailer from Endgame with the Hulk in it, even though it was not the Hulk, it was the Hulk Buster armor. Very funny. Okay, so yeah, there's like I'm like, oh, there's another topic about trailers I want to talk about. Have you been following Marathon's bullshit?
Marathon.
The game, it's an old Bungie game, but they're making it. They were gonna release a newer one that was like a fucking Tarkov like Fortnite shooter thing.
I don't know a thing about
it. Has been it's like Anthem level of insane, fucked up theft and lying and stealing assets and bad gameplay and all kinds of drama.
Brothers?
And the game's been canceled since. It's
Okay.
been shelved for the time being. But like a lot of people who are huge fans of the Marathon series from back in the 90s are incredibly pissed. That was the series that they did that got them Halo Marathon back in the 90s, and so this new piece of shit after they've given up Halo.
Oh my god.
This new piece of shit that then is like apparently a huge fucking horrible mess, but there was a conference that they did at one point showing trailers and stuff, but it was like a fake E3 thing for only their own dev team, so everyone in the quote unquote audience was like their employees.
Oh,
but anyway, enough about trailers. I love trailers, and also just now I'm fucking like this podcast works as fucking therapy for me. This fucking movie might be the reason I love trailers. I just realized I saw this fucking just a block of hour and 13-minute block of trailers I watched 1,000 times over. So now as an adult, I'm like, I love trailers. I just realized that's why. Now it explains everything.
That definitely feels like it explains some things.
Oh yeah, but finally moving forward to topic number 2. 50 minutes into the episode. Classic. Oldest movies we've watched outside the podcast, because obviously in the podcast, some of the horseshit we've seen in this weird ass movie, but Terror of Tiny Town was 1938.
Yeah, that's probably the oldest for sure.
Yeah, but like outside of the podcast, what's the oldest thing you probably have seen? You think?
Brian might be one of the oldest. I can't think of much else.
I can think of one that I know I've seen. You more than likely have seen. Wizard of Oz.
Is that really before 1930?
No, it was 1939.
Okay,
but outside of the podcast,
I've seen that. Definitely. Honestly, I can't think of much else.
Gone with the Wind.
Never seen it.
No, I was gonna say, have you seen Godzilla, the original?
I have not actually.
Did you watch the American edit, which is what we watched in this trailer?
Okay, that explains some things. I can't. Say
I saw that movie. It's so fucking funny. I want to. Whenever we in a million years when we get to the Godzilla trailer, I do want to talk about it.
What year was Son of Godzilla?
God, that would have probably been the 70s. That's the shitty Showa era.
When did Godzilla first come out?
The original movie was 54.
Okay. I would say I remember watching it was like a Son of Godzilla, like it was like a baby Godzilla being a little snot.
Godzuki?
Yeah, I remember that. Again, I watched, I don't know what the year is, the mushroom, it was in Japanese, it was like a mushroom, Attack of the Mushroom People thing. Yeah. The Dawn of the Dead, obviously,
Day of the Dead?
Night of the Living Dead,
Night
original.
Of the Living, yeah.
That was 64, if I recall. Please tell me I'm right, because if somehow Kev listens to this, he's going to be mad if I don't remember the year.
Night of the Living Dead, 1968.
Okay. That was not bad though.
Yeah, close enough. I was gonna say another one. Besides the Godzilla,
The Great Dictator. When did that come out? That's older.
That's probably the fucking 20s or some horse shit, right?
I did watch that. I saw that in the theater. At Capitol they played the Great Dictator.
Yeah, that's definitely all the shit.
Buster Keaton, right? Or
no, Charlie Chaplin, wasn't it?
Was that Charlie Chaplin? I think it was
feel
Buster
like it
Keaton.
was. No, yeah, Charlie Chaplin.
Okay, yeah.
1940. So
40.
yeah, older.
So that's definitely. Somehow Terror of Tiny Town is still the oldest film, one of the oldest films I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, and I can't believe you made me watch it twice.
To be fair, I only made you watch it once. Yeah. You volunteered to watch it the second time. You could have just closed your eyes and took a nap.
Yeah. Honestly, the fucking 50 minutes that movie is, I probably could have taken a nap.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other one is a favorite of mine that in the monster movie genre, which we'll get into it soon. Gamera versus Giran. It was a 1969 movie that I saw that I fucking loved to death. So yeah, very short segment on old movies, which I am not a fan of old shit for the most part. This is probably the most exciting old thing I've ever watched. This movie for the trailers and shit for these movies, because I know that a vast majority of these movies, which I did see, are incredibly fucking boring.
See, I do actually like old films. Like I said, obviously the Romero stuff, which is his own thing, but like the original Dawn of the Dead is awesome. Yeah. And if you watch the trailer too is not the greatest, though. That's a really weird thing, because like there's weird things with like the rights of it. Like there's literally multiple versions of that film, and it's like the edit is like this has like a scene that's like, instead of him running for 5 seconds, it's like 6 seconds and you see him turn the corner. And it's a different cut. But like I like those. There was what was it called? It was Humanoids from the Deep. I actually own it on Blu-ray now. Like that was a film I saw and it's another one of those schlocky, kind of films. But like I like those, and it's why I enjoyed Bad Taste more. I know than you did.
Yeah.
Outside of I like it because there's something charming about an old film that's because it's why I think The Room, I've said for sure before, The Room and Birdemic aren't entertaining because they're good films, is because they take themselves seriously and they tried. And like, on one hand, yes, we laugh at them because they failed at what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But like, what is success? What determines what? Just because it wasn't what you're trying to do doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining as fuck. Like we just watched Velocipaster before.
Oh yeah, that movie's like tried to very like a comedy.
Yeah, but I mean, like it easily. How many times there was some moments rough here and there, but like, I mean, you've watched movies new and old that probably try to do what this did, and
yeah. There's one. Sorry for stopping on the topic and going back to what we fucking just spent an hour talking about. Did you see the trailer for Bad CGI Crocodile?
What is it called?
The movie's called like Bad CG Crocodile.
No.
And it's like these fucking people. It's like a Velocipaster like thing, but it's like a shitty, bad CGI crocodile, like a really fucking stiff, ugly 3D model, like attacking these people at a cabin. And it's just like, oh my god, what's that thing? It looks so weird and ugly and terrible. It's attacking us. Oh my god! And it's just like a very funny spoof movie called like Bad CGI Gator maybe or something like that. But guess what? The trailer is better than the movie. The movie is fucking shitty, but the trailer is very funny.
I mean that. Hey, you know what? The trailer did. It sounds like it did its job at least. Then.
Yeah. Got me to watch that horrible piece of shit.
I mean, and I've never seen it, but I'm gonna assume that it didn't. Satire is a very weird, difficult thing to do.
Oh yeah, and
but like
you show trailers for, like I can't imagine.
But like I remember, like, and I think we talked about it. I mentioned it in one of the episodes too. At this point, we're probably repeating ourselves a lot of times.
I mean,
like the
superhero. We've been doing this podcast for 5 fucking years.
So like with like the spoof films, like obviously Scary Movie and 1 and 2, I think is still kind of up there.
Scary Movie, I love Scary Movie 2 more than 1 personally.
So I've heard a lot, and I remember it. I don't hate them. I don't love them. I don't hate them. But like
I've not seen them in years, and I know they're
superhero
probably
movie
comedically problematic. That superhero movie
hysterical
is
honestly
very fucking funny.
And obviously, yes,
better than you
think
think.
Helps.
Yeah.
But like,
I think no piece of shit Drake Bell's fucking still that movie is very funny.
Like
he's a good lead.
He did a good job in acting in the film. Mm-hmm. Do everything about him as the person. He did a good job acting in the film. And like you look at the cast too, like Kevin Hart's in it as his friend,
yeah.
And I think what that film did compared to like Disaster Movie, Meet the Spot, like all those spoof movies that just were garbage.
Yeah, the actual lazy pieces of shit. Yeah.
Like the ones that you literally got like the joke where they literally play the scene, like one scene is the trailer. Like the Disaster Movie, the trailer is literally just a conga line of references.
It's like oh my god, it's Paris Hilton, and then like she'd be like, oh well, that's hot, and then like I'm like, oh look, it's the Hulk, and then like a guy painted green like, and then like step on Paris Hilton. That's the entire fucking movie. It's just horseshit like that.
It's like satire is not just reference.
It's absolutely shit.
It's understanding the trope. It's what honestly like people don't think about this, and it's probably, and maybe will debate me. Scream is a spoof film.
Yeah,
it is a satire.
People say
spoof.
It's a satire.
It's just because it's genuine and it is horror. Yeah. It is a satire spoof because it looked at the tropes of horror
in the 80s. Yeah,
exactly.
But then like hundreds of movies after, it just literally made movies like that, and then that slasher thing became a new genre of like attempting to be witty teen slashers.
In a weird way, genre. I think that's why Saw got as big as it did. Is because
it was a response to that shitty, bad, like everyone got sick of Cry Wolf and I Know What You Did Last Summer 3. So it's like, okay, You know what? Fuck that shit. We're edgy now. We're post 9/11. We're all angry. So fucking this is what you're doing now. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm here for it. I fucking love those movies.
And I think there's nothing wrong with a spoof film. Like again, it's taking yourself seriously. Yeah. And I think if you want to bring it back to trailers, I think what a trailer does and how it's used tells you a lot about the film, and the fact that you mentioned too that like the one company does a lot of these trailers. Yeah, honestly, like I can understand to an extent of a company doing that because like that is I feel like could be an art form, but like it's probably so mass produced, and especially too for big box office. I guarantee you that the people who made the newest Mission Impossible film, they don't care how great the trailer looks or doesn't look. As long as it gets butts in the seats, that's all they care about. Yeah. I think that is a problem because, like, there are probably companies out there who a good trailer could actually be making or breaking a film. Like, I bet you, like, honestly, too, I would bet you that Tommy Wiseau made the trailer for The Room.
100% I know he probably did.
So, like, and I'll bet you it's terrible, but also, I will bet you people saw that trailer and said, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And again, I mean, you can even argue, too, like, in a side way, because I've even heard, they mentioned on How Does This Get Made, is that he paid for a billboard of his face that said The Room.
Yeah, and
that was an extension.
For years.
Yes, and like that's an extension of, trailers are. We're talking about advertisements. This conversation is all about advertisements.
Of course,
trailers is just an advertisement that masquerades as a film, kind of thing. And I think that needs to be taken seriously.
Trailer Park Group, I think, is the name of the company. I believe. Trailer Park Group. Yeah, they do a shit ton of shit.
Like, I feel like it is a art form, and I feel like it's not something that should be taken lightly. Yeah. And I think too that it's something that even if your film team is busy editing the actual film, I think that there should be some representative working with whatever company that would be making trailers. Yeah. They should have a very big hand. Like, if this is a business and it's one company doing it, they should say, we're spending, we are going to meet and we're going to put together this with whatever. Director comes in, they give us, what is that? They spend more time talking about what the film is going to be about and like what they want to convey through it. And then that way the footage they show, they can take that, get critique and take that input, because I think that it is important. It is not just, it is not just nothing. Trailers are important. I think genuinely, if that's something, that's a hill I will die on.
Of course,
they are important, and they are just as big as the film. Again, you watched the bad CGI alligator because you saw a good trailer, probably, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's been films I couldn't tell you which, but there are probably trailers that have made me interested in something that I never would have heard about otherwise, and I think that it is important to have.
Yeah, I love trailers. So yeah, now on the topic of
real quick, what we said old movies, because that was something I like.
That's what we were supposed to be on, and we got distracted, of course.
But I would say I was generally, because I like them more than you. Like, I enjoy earnest, good old films that utilize the era, and it's something good. Well, sorry, I don't think I got him either. But like, they utilize the era and what their limitations are.
Yeah.
And I think like, because that was something that did come through at times. Like, some of the varying level of special effects that shown in all these trailers. Something that I did notice it here and there was like, you have to think there's people acting against something that they don't see. Mm-hmm. Like, and obviously you get that in CG, and sometimes they'll, like, I remember, like, the It Chapter 2, like, they literally had, like, when you're at the end scene, they had literally a giant pin-up of a Pennywise head, and he was there giving the lines, but they're still reacting to a giant cut-up. Or in Stranger Things, there I saw, too, there was, so in the season 3, in the hospital scene, that, like, first Amorphous thing was literally, like, some guy in, like, a green screen suit, and he was actually acting and doing, overdoing it, and it was, like, in the mall, it was a balloon for them to know, like, the line of sight. So they're acting against not what we're seeing, and that does at times shine through in these trailers when you have people running and screaming for something that we might think is funny and laughing, but their reaction is as if it's real.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing to get.
Oh, yeah. That's very
and I can say that having technically filmed a scene of people pointing and going, "What's that?" to nothing. And what ended up me doing was me throwing a laptop case so hard that it went up onto the roof. And the last bit of the footage is when you're like, "Oh my god!" Because I was using his, and I threw his laptop case onto the roof. I think he got in trouble. So, hey Dwayne, if you're listening, sorry.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But listen, if I ever put that film together, I got him.
Nope.
If I ever put that film together and I still have that footage, I will 1,000% use that "oh my god" as my new Wilhelm scream. Because it was like that sort of like, "oh my god." It would be like the kind of thing that you could literally play as someone's yelling and someone gets killed. "Oh my god."
That's stupid as hell.
So, also, hey Dwayne, if you're listening, send us a clip of you yelling, "oh my god," overly dramatic. And
that'd be very helpful.
Sprinkle that into this episode.
Put that randomly in if I get that. Actually, it's going to be impossible before this episode airs. Literally impossible.
That'll be the new Kuvira's Gambit.
Yeah, Kuvira's Gambit, which is also almost fucking 5 years old now. I think I think we recorded like on the anniversary of that fucking bit.
That was around the time we came back. I want to say, isn't it?
No, it was like June, January. It was like June or so of
21.
20. I don't know, maybe 2020.
Did we do that before we did Movie Garbage?
That was if I literally could check because I'm on my phone right now reading my notes, but I would say that it was likely June of 2020 because I was airing the episodes a week at a time back then.
Huh.
And Careers began.
We didn't meet in 2020. I thought that
we didn't meet, but I was posting episodes at that point.
Well, I know we were. What did we record it then? Is the question.
We would have recorded it way earlier. I have no idea when the hell we would have recorded it.
That would have been before the lockdown and everything. So it would have been 19.
Yeah.
So, but
3 years ago, it was.
Did you have a random?
Oh no, August 25th is when Careers Gambit bit started.
August 25th.
Yep, of 2020.
So that was a good bit.
Anyway,
also, hey, remember how I was right?
we can't keep getting distracted, and that was a different season.
That should be the new name of this podcast.
Remember when it was right that one time? Yeah.
Oh no, just saying we keep getting distracted.
Yeah. Oh, that's every podcast, honestly. So the next topic I wanted to get onto was this movie is a quote unquote documentary. And I know you, like I said with all of our friends all the time, none of you guys see normal good movies. Have you seen any documentaries, non-crime ones? Because that's a whole different thing. There's a billion crime docs on Netflix or Amazon or all kinds of shit like that. A non-crime based documentary that you've seen at any time.
Does Tiger King count technically?
I mean, that's a miniseries, right?
Are we talking documentary? You're talking a documentary?
I mean, documentary
film,
film.
not a series.
Yeah, documentary film.
Well, I do know of one I got to watch. I actually at a Cleveland Film Festival, and I actually enjoyed. It was Dear Watterson. I think it was Dear Mr. Watterson. It was made by people who are fans of Calvin and Hobbes, and were kind of going over the history on him. But like the big kind of thing was like it wasn't meant to be like because anyone who doesn't know, Bill Watterson, the guy who made Calvin and Hobbes, is very private. Like his appearance is very almost never really seen. Like I bet you, like the amount of pictures of him is super small. He's not a very massive, lavish kind of person, and very much respects his privacy. And the film wasn't trying to hunt him down and everything. It was like hey, we appreciate what you do. We love everything you've done, and it was almost like a kind of thing of we wanted to tell you this, what it means to us. We understand where it all came from. And my small connection is friend of the podcast, Chris Bow. Obviously, we are good friends. Obviously, friend of the podcast.
Yeah,
and hopefully she has fond memories as well. But his sister and I dated for a few years, and so their dad is actually the doctor in Calvin and Hobbes. Not many clips of him, but that is their dad. Cool. You see a picture of him and you see the doctor, they look exactly the same. And I even remember because obviously I was at their house a lot, so in the bathroom there was actually like giant strips of two of the doctors showing up in there, and it said the names, signed Bill Watterson and everything, and like their dad was friends with Bill Watterson in high school. He went to Chagrin Falls, and actually there's on the back of one of the comics there's Calvin like giant like destroying a town. Yeah. That is Chagrin Falls center. Like if you look up Chagrin Falls and all that, like that is exactly what he drew in that.
That's fucking funny as hell. So, that's cool as hell.
But I saw that documentary and I liked it. I've seen a few documentaries here and there, but I don't go on my way hard on them.
Yeah, same. I assume, did you see Super Size Me back in the day?
I did watch Super Size Me, yes. Which I know, nowadays there's a lot of controversy about it.
Yeah, dude's apparently a piece of shit, which is unfortunate.
He died?
I don't think he died. I don't think he's dead.
No, he died. I thought I swear to God he died.
He may have died, but all I know is
Morgan Spurlock, right?
Yeah, Spurlock, yeah. Super Size Me, which of course was famous because a lot of people recreated it. And
he died in May of 2024.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Wow, what May? That's
May?
Wow. a little over a
May
year ago.
23rd, 2024.
Well, before then, I remember some kind of controversy about
Cancer.
it.
He died
That's
of cancer.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Oh, at McDonald's he ate,
As far as I would say, who knows? Maybe it was the McDonald's, the carcinogenic fake meat.
McDonald's took him out. Cancer is a lie.
Yeah, they took him out with burgers and horrible
Search
pig
Mick
meat.
Spurlock for the truth.
For the truth. That doc was really fucking crazy. I remember watching it in theaters. I don't know why the fuck I went to go see that in theaters. It didn't change my mind about McDonald's, I don't think.
Ironically, I don't think it changed a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, documentaries they're a very weird form of art, I think, too. Because, like, because it was even talked about, too, like, with Tiger King. Like, if you want to send it to miniseries. Because I think that those are similar.
It's a doc.
Documentary
series, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember watching, too, there was one about, so there's a video of a guy who, like, made, like, anonymous videos of himself, like, doing horrific things to cats. And, people found out...
Yeah, the doc You Don't Fuck With Cats or something like that.
Yeah. I remember watching that series. Like, documentaries and docuseries all have a point they're trying to get across. And there are some that will omit things that aren't relevant in theory but might disprove them.
They might often have some kind of agenda, the person making it. Like we talked about the one, not to bring up another series. Like I said, I didn't want to bring up Crime One specifically, which I think Tiger King technically would count as. Hang on one. Anyway.
Jesus Christ, that's 3. You're 3 for 3.
Nats are, I'm fucking great at them. Docuseries like Crime One specifically, there can be an agenda, they can be biased. I know there was one, another shitty one about like these bullies in a school, or it was like now, but like back when they were in school, they were bullies to this one person. I don't think killed themselves or the person making the doc, but like it was very like dismissive of their bullying and like how shitty they treated somebody. There's another one that's like there's a shit ton of ones about all kinds of horrible crimes and like horrible like wars in other countries and like talking about the people who participated in those horrible traumatic acts. But I wanted to stick specifically to non-criminal ones.
I would say, well, ironically, you mentioned that, and it was actually one of the things I remember that was criticized about Quiet on Set, kind of tying back into that in our episodes, was they really did not go excessively hard or pointing out Drake Bell's issues.
Yeah.
Like,
or they downplayed them. They're accused of downplaying them. Yeah.
Right. And on one hand, I get and understand because, he wasn't there to hard talk about it. But even, through some of it, like, they could have done a better job of presenting the fact, like, yes, what happened to him is terrible and he is a, survivor, but... Nice.
I always do this in my bottle.
No, you're right in the middle of talking.
I do it on the podcast multiple times. Sorry.
It's like, but at the same time, like they didn't talk about how they could even use it as as proof of the cycle of abuse.
Yeah.
They didn't even do something like that, and I think that's where they kind of did falter or fail.
Yeah.
But I even know too, like I mentioned Tiger King. Like that was one that did not do at times they definitely presented Carol. Like I don't think. And maybe some of it is biased. I don't think Carol Baskins is a bad person, but I don't think that she's a great person, And I think that the film at times, and documentaries will at times villainize people, not through even like an explicit, oh, look at all these terrible things, but they'll say, this person did this, and you said, and it could be that this is why they did it, or it could just be this. Yes, but we don't know for sure. And it's like you're leading people with your documentaries at times where you're not saying you think that they did the wrong thing or they were malicious in their actions, but you're not disproving it. You're just letting it be up to the people. And as we have learned in the past, since 2016, people are so dumb that they will literally vote for leopards eating their face off and then be surprised when their face gets eaten off.
It's
but I'm not going to give any examples about that because I'm sure I could maybe scrounge up something small that would maybe kind of go into that, but yeah, I think documentaries, I think that they're best when they are an accurate. It all depends on what the subject is. Like, quiet on set, Tiger King, like crime, stuff like those. I think that situations like that could be, those are more manipulative at times, even Super Size Me. But I think that something like the Dear Mr. Watterson one, it's more so about putting out there the information, the backstory on something, and how people feel about it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, yes, you're only going to go after people who are fans of Calvin and Hobbes, but why in a documentary that's looking at Calvin and Hobbes are you going to go find someone who says, this is the worst comic strip I've ever seen, and I can't believe that it ran for more than a single strip, and yada, yada, yada. Like, you're not, you know, I think that documentaries that are more informative than...
There's so many gnats in here, dude.
I apologize for that.
No, it's fine. It's probably just... I have a fucking... what the fuck? The gutter fell off of my a part of my house.
Oof.
I know, now I have like a fucking a sitting water, and I know like this hot ass summer I'm gonna get mosquitoes if I don't get that thing the fuck out of here because it's full of water. But,
you know what probably was, I went out, before you got here, I ended up going outside to the garage, and I'll bet you at, like, just opening the garage door, because I was taking the trash out, I bet you there was some in there.
You never know.
So,
but
that's my excuse. I'm right there.
yeah, but that's real world stuff. We're talking about movies and shit right now.
Exactly.
Another great documentary I think you should check out. I don't know. I watched it. It was probably like a decade ago. It's called Celluloid Closet. It's about the history of gays in films, and it's like literally, I think from like it's like the oldest movies as little as like this shit was.
I did just remember another documentary I've seen.
Okay, wait, this one I'm watching before you go to yours.
You go ahead.
Yeah. Celluloid Closet, of course, like 99% of that doc is just like the horrible depictions of gays in movies for the past like 100 years. Just all the villainous roles, all the, you know, like horrible stereotypes, horrible things, just like them playing villains, them playing like minions, them being like, you know, overly effeminate, or just like, you know, all kinds of various. But like, it was a documentary about different movies and their portrayals in movies over decades and decades. And I just randomly caught it on TV one day, and I was so like fascinated by it. I was like, oh yeah, that's really interesting. Like, there's like an Audrey Hepburn movie where she was like playing a teacher who was accused of being gay, and like which I never heard of that movie, but it's like a major thing with a huge actress in it. Tons of movies from the 90s and 80s that had just like really horrible gay villains and stuff like that. The coding for people and stuff like Disney movies with, of course, obviously Ursula and Scar and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, it's very, very fascinating. Definitely check out that Celluloid Closet. I have some other documentaries, but like, yeah, Celluloid Closet is fascinating. What's your one? Sorry,
so I don't, if you might have seen it, and I know we mentioned it. It was the making of Troll 2. It was the guy who played the kid. Remember?
Oh yeah, we definitely mentioned that in the episode.
I mean, that was literally a third episode, I think. Though.
Yeah, maybe second even. I think.
Yeah, it was. The first one was Freddy Got Fingered. Second one. What was our second one now? Because Troll 2 was before we hit the big break. I remember that much.
Yeah, and then Fantasy Island got taken down.
Fantasy Island, it was Freddy Got Fingered. Then we did Fantasy Island, because I remember we did Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, Fantasy Island was number 2, and Troll 2 was number 3.
That's right, because I remember because I think we recorded them, Freddy Got Fingered and Fantasy Island the same day.
Probably.
With watching we went to the theater back when it was open, and we went back to your place. We had to like stop ourselves from talking.
Yeah.
And then we recorded that episode, and then that's why I said, because I remember Troll 2 was one that hadn't got a lot talked about, surprisingly.
I forgot what that documentary was called, but the worst movie of all time, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that doc was fucking fantastic.
And I think that was another one where, like, Dear Mr. Watson, it wasn't trying, like, yes,
it was trying to be genuine, but like, yeah,
right,
it got a lot of different POVs and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Like, and it knew when to, like, obviously there was, you know, the dad was in it a lot, but the mom was barely in it.
But she seemed absolutely crazy.
But they didn't do that was a situation where they just kind of let her words linger, but they didn't give their...
Yeah, they didn't frame her in any way. They just literally just like interviewed her, and she just talked. We do go into, you can listen to that episode again, because we do go into that a lot more than the actual plot of that fucking dumbass movie.
I mean, is there a plot to that movie?
But yeah, that movie was fantastic.
There's a movie called Troll that had goblins.
Troll 2, yeah. Goblin,
Nilbog.
Another fun one, Pumpin' Iron. The Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno competition. Like, back when they were both weightlifting and bodybuilding, the whole narrative is that Lou Ferrigno, like, his dad was his coach, and like how he lost his hearing as a child and all that kind of growing up. But then like the whole documentary is like from the 80s or whatever, when they're both super young. and it frames Arnold Schwarzenegger as such a horrible villain, but he 100% is like completely fine with that. He thinks it's like funny, and he's like, he's like fucking around, smoking weed, sleeping around, being dumb, but also like he's still absolutely incredible. And then Lou Ferrigno has this like harrowing life growing up, and he's like the underdog. And spoilers for the actual doc. It's not like a story. It's like an actual documentary of their lives when they're competing against each other growing up. He loses and Schwarzenegger wins in the end. And of course, literally in life, Schwarzenegger's insanely rich. He married into an also insanely rich family, the Kennedys. And then he went on to become a governor, and he's still in fucking movies to this huge franchise movies to this day. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yeah, but it's just like funny that he like let himself be the villain in that doc.
Well, even too, like I know the King of Kong had a lot, like which we're gonna be careful because we know he's litigious.
Oh yeah, fuck that weird little creep.
Yes, that weird little creep. You can figure out who we're talking about. He knows who he is, but we're not gonna say his name out loud. But like, I haven't never seen it, but I've heard like there's the representation on it and parts of it where it kind of felt weird at times too. With that, but like I feel like it sounds like they probably didn't villainize somebody enough potentially. I mean, I'm not gonna say who. I could be talking about anybody. There's no idea. There's no way you can know exactly who I'm talking about.
I'm surprised you haven't watched more sports documentaries. Did you watch that Jordan one that was going on a couple years ago?
No,
it was huge. Like everyone was talking about it. Like I don't even follow anything sports related, and I was hearing about it nonstop on podcasts and stuff.
See, there's possible that I have seen some like football documentaries, and I just don't think of them as it because like there's a lot of times where like I'll watch that and I see them as like, and I think maybe that's just this way the genre itself is kind of presented, or how films might present themselves as a documentary, or just like educational, like, because I know I've watched stuff about football and going over like this season or these players or stuff like that, so I'm sure there's stuff like that.
One I did watch for the longest time from like 2015 or 14 I started listening to it, the podcast Pistol Shrimps Radio. Matt Gorley and Mark McConville, two absolutely incredible comedians, are just doing sports casting like we are right now for the female amateur comedian basketball team. It's like all these female comedians, including a ton you would know from like a ton of like including Aubrey Plaza and a bunch of other people. They had like their own amateur sports team, and they'll play against other comedy teams in LA. Matt Gorley is fucking insanely hilarious. Like half of the goofy names I use in my podcast, like, are names that he makes up for the referees whenever he's talking about them.
That's funny.
He's like, referee Stanch Moanwater is like dancing down the court, and it's just like, oh, Mudge Laughlin is doing He's like,
now I want to do that to like actual sports things.
Yeah, it's incredible. They're so funny. They like make up names for the players. Like this player, like, oh, this new player on the team, Hanma Boogie. In case you haven't known, she got her name from that one scene in the original A New Hope where Jabba the Hutt was edited out, where he says Hanma Boogie. So it's like
that's funny.
It's incredibly funny. He's still doing stuff to this day, both of them. But like, yeah, they ran that podcast for probably 5 or 6 years. But they made a doc about the team, headed by Aubrey Plaza when she was on the team. And it was like toured around. It did like Conan and stuff like that. Like it was really huge for the Pistol Shrimps Radio. The Pistol Shrimps team is the name of the team. Mm-hmm. They're fucking incredible, and that was another insanely funny doc. I think it might have also unfortunately had some ties to Morgan Spurlock. I think he may have like had some kind of production part in it, but
I mean it's
but yeah, it's just like
I do know there's two that I've never watched, but they're on my like want to watch list. One is I've seen it. It's like the making of it. I think ironically it's like 3 hours. It's basically going over like this, like how they made
the original miniseries. Now that I would love to check out. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in that. And then another one that I remember hearing about, and again we probably even mentioned it in our Freddy vs. Jason, is Scream Queens.
Oh yeah,
because
the doc.
Yeah, because I believe he's the actor who played. I forget his name, but in Freddy 2. Yeah. Because that is, I probably the one that
Robert Englund? I thought you were talking about the Jason actor.
No, it was so the person who played the main character in Freddy in Freddy 2.
The second one, yeah.
So he was. I mean, he's referred to as like the first male scream queen.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that in the episode. Yeah.
And everything, and like and I think he was in that or a part of it, and I'd be interested in seeing that because I mean I'm sure it sounded like he was probably in that celluloid closet because
probably
that film is straight up talked about how like
I wouldn't be surprised if that actor probably has some ties to that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I even said like the writer and producer like they knew he was gay and not out yet, and they literally wrote like all these gay subtext in it, like because they knew he was, which is really shitty to do.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy the film. I think it is the best Friday Nightmare on Elm Street film, in my opinion. But I understand that there's some trauma into it, and it's sad.
Hopefully, he has a positive experience from it now. If he watched the doc, hopefully, but who knows?
But there's actually, ironically, another documentary. It's not been released full, but I have seen the full cut because I watched it at the 40th anniversary convention, and I guess disclosure, am in it.
Hell yeah!
Rocky Horror saved my life.
Oh hell yeah!
And I'm not going to go into any of the politics about anybody for anyone who's listening and knows the hard details, but I'm just going to lay out the people on it and go from there. So the main two were Sean Stutler and Larry Vizel.
Mm-hmm.
Matt saw my hand gestures. He knows. But so basically, it was they had a Kickstarter and they had certain casts that were long standard that they were going around to, and then there was other stops around that basically they would go, they interview people on the cast, they'd record the show and everything, and the way the film was kind of presented was, more so like very segments in terms of like, this city, this cast kind of thing, and so. The full cut was a good 2.5 to 3 hours long. Though I'm ironically, even though I am in of course, the Cleveland segments with Simply Servants, you can actually see me in the Pittsburgh segment. The night before, because when they filmed it in Cleveland, the night before they were out in Pittsburgh. So Kev and I actually drove out there the night for the filming. And our seats were, and I don't know how the Hollywood is anymore, but we were at the Hollywood Theater, and they had like the kind of there's like those two seats in the very front.
Yeah.
That are kind of like the handicap, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And whatever. So we were if you're staring at the screen, we're the left side group of the center, whatever. There's just two seats there. Mm-hmm. And during the pre-show, the guy, I forget who it was off the top of my head, but he made out with Sean Stutler and was filmed from looking out at the audience.
Yeah.
You can see me standing there in my wearing my Simply a Servant shirt.
Hell yeah!
And then in our segments, which they've been, I don't know if I got it. I don't see the result, but I feel like I got him. So. They even talk about it, it was actually ironically nowadays we're always in theater 1, but we used to always be in theater 2. Okay. That was like our first time almost in theater 1.
Oh yeah! And
we sold out, and there was multiple casts that had come out, just whatever, that they ended up getting a stop at, but there were multiple people there, and so my portion of the interview was me going over my first time going to see Rocky, which was in 2007 after Homecoming.
Yeah.
Because I was hanging out with Mitzi and all them, and after Homecoming, go back to her place, and so I was like, "Oh, it's Saturday. I think it's Rocky Horror Night tonight." So I asked my parents to go, and I joked I lost my virginity at Homecoming, and everything. And I remember I still got pictures, and I remember it was theater 2. It was in like this. I always call it, it's the same row as where the spotlight sits now, and it was like 3 seats in. And ironically, Emily had been invited by Yael Jacobs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen her, that Yael.
I've seen them recently, no.
So not seen them recently, but they're old.
Yeah.
Identity. I just make sure to say that.
Okay.
They'd met because I saw Emily and Chris at the football game in town, and I introduced her. I introduced Yael to them because I was good friends with them, and Yael had invited Emily to Homecoming, so she was there, ironically, even though she lived in Chagrin Falls, I was in town in Beechwood and went to our homecoming and then went to Rocky Horror with us the first time. And I joined cast because of her, so I'm going to throw this out and then we can move on. So if somehow first off, if you're listening, Emily, awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Second, thanks for listening this far to us ramble. And third, I don't know how much you are on Facebook, but I had made a big long post during the actual month of May, which I unfortunately missed my actual 15-year anniversary on cast because I got sick. Yeah. But I'm on cast. I joined cast because of you, Emily, and I'm very sad that you are not on cast anymore with us. And I know there's some history, but I hope that I just want to say thank you for pushing me to join cast, and I hope that I get to see you at the show again someday. Because nowadays, I'm the guy with the microphone. If you can't tell from me talking in front of this microphone in front of us here, yeah. I'm the guy with the microphone. It's the pre-show now. So, very much love for you to give me the critique and tell me how bad I am at it. Be honest. It's okay.
I'm just a compliment you. Don't worry.
Listen, I get enough compliments. I don't need a compliments on it. I need to be told, listen, Ed, you're fucking up because this is why. It's not funny. Don't do that bit anymore.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, Emily, thank you so much for having me join cast, and I hope that you can have a positive memories of the film, being on cast, and also selfishly that you don't hate me terribly.
I'm sure that. Oh, who knows? Ask Chris. Friend of the podcast, Bo.
I'll ask Chris, friend of the podcast, Chris Bo, eventually to ask how sister of the friend of the podcast is doing. I know she's elsewhere, but I hope she's happy and doing great because awesome. Nothing but good things to say about her.
Emily was wonderful. I remember I went to a con with her.
We all went, didn't we?
I mean, I went to a bunch of cons. I think at one point it was me.
We drove all together.
Yeah, at one con, me, Steven Calvina, and her. Was that the one where she cosplayed as Glaceon? Were you there with that one?
I mean, I don't remember.
I think we just went with her, her, Steven, me, Calvina, and another friend of ours, or I think maybe their roommate, Calvina and them's roommate from Akron.
Do you remember the year?
There. Fuck no.
I don't remember the year. I can tell you, but I do know. I remember because she drove you, me, Calvina. Was Steven with us in that one?
I don't know. Like I said,
I remember you fell asleep, and I got a picture of you dead ass in the back, head. Like you were sitting in the back seat. It was like a van, so you were in the middle, of course, because it was only like 4 or 5 of us, most of us, and your head was like you looked like Boa Hancock. Your head was that far back, whatever, mouth wide open, just.
Hell yeah.
You were out. I got the picture somewhere.
Hell yeah!
That's gonna
rock.
We gotta find a place to put that in.
Oh god. So yeah, documentaries. We watched a couple of them.
Documentaries and trailers.
Hey, guess what? Now we're finally gonna get one step closer to the actual topic of the fucking movie, even though we have a lot. Okay, so actual fucking monster movies, Ed. Do you have any history with this subject of the fucking doc we watched?
So it's more so. It's just I don't seek them out, but I do enjoy them. Like I mentioned, Humanoids from the Deep. It's one. It's not the giant kaiju monsters, but it's a similar kind of thing. The Motion People is another one. I did watch. It's on here. Them.
Yeah, Them.
I watched Them with my dad.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about with that one because there's some funny bits about it.
So, but like, I've seen some here and there. Like, I mean, does Pacific Rim technically count?
100%. Yeah, it's a kaiju movie. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's always one of.
I still haven't seen the second one.
Same. I've heard it's not that great though.
I've heard mixed things, but I want to see some new monster and robot designs.
I'd be willing to see that. But like I enjoy the genre. It's just never like I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch something because it's a monster movie, and I'm not going to like shy away from something because it's a monster movie. It's a thing that I enjoy, and I just what I want to see good action. I want to see good effects, and I want to see like a good payoff. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed the Rampage movie.
Oh yeah, I barely remember that movie. I saw it actually in theaters. I don't think I thought. No, I didn't see it in theaters. I thought on my own time. I like in that at home.
Same.
What a dumbass movie. The fucking wolf and the alligator were so last minute, 10 seconds of screen time.
Well, like the alligator was the one that to me felt like last second. Like the wolf and the gorilla were like the hard focus, and then and then this kind of got mentioned half. Like it showed up at the beginning. Like, I think you saw like one little scene in between, and then it showed up in the big fight at the end.
Yeah.
But it was a dumb movie.
Very dumb.
I enjoyed it for the what for on its own. Oh God.
Yeah, no, too early for that.
That is like I feel like that is like a curse word, and I feel like it's a genuine curse word because I feel like I have been cursed because I feel like
it makes your opinion seem bad.
since friend of the podcast Chris Bow said that The Last Airbender was good on its own merit, I have been unable to avoid finding myself
when
feel
defending
and
a bad
say
movie.
that. Yeah, I don't get it. What happened?
I don't know.
I've truly been. It is truly a curse word. I have been cursed. You have cursed me, friend of the podcast, Chris Bow, and I will tell you that in several days from now.
Hell yeah.
But when you hear this, I've already told you that.
Yeah. I will say that I guess we'll get a little bit more specific. This movie, obviously a bunch of trailers and a specific genres of movies. There's 3 categories that I put the movies that we watched in. The first one are Jules Verne, like Journey to the Center of the Earth type movies. There's a bunch of those. The second one would be fantasy epics like the Sinbad and the Argonauts ones. And then the other one would be obviously kaiju movies, which is majority of them. The first one is Jules Verne, Journey to a weird ancient.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne is the author who the Journey to the Center of the Earth and the Comet movie that we watched. But
is that one? So
those are more like Lost World movies. They go to a group of explorers goes to an area and there's dinosaurs and cavemen. Those Lost World movies.
So basically, it's one of those films where it's like they go to an unexplored area that is like untouched by time.
Yeah, and a bunch of inexplicable cavemen.
Meg 2?
Yeah, the Meg 2. Well, that's more of a kaiju movie. Actually, no, I haven't seen Meg 2. I saw the Meg 1. I didn't see 2 yet.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but they find that the megalodons came from there's this weird
the silt there at the bottom that they went to in the first movie.
There's literally a whatever, and they're able to go down under there, and that's where they find all these prehistoric, that's where the Meg came from, and all this prehistoric. It's prehistoric down there basically.
That's hilarious. Is there actual Leopleurodons or whatever the fuck down there, or just more giant sharks?
There's giant sharks, and then there is. Do you care if I spoil it?
No, don't spoil. Because one of these days I'll remember to open it up on Amazon and watch it on my own time.
You could probably guess what else is down there. That's a giant thing. But it was only half the film. But
I was gonna say another Jules Verne movie that I was gonna say. Speaking of Jules Verne, I read Journey to the Center of the Earth. I already told Ed earlier when watching this movie. Spoilers: it was boring and long and drawn out. The other one I did watch also or read was another one he did 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's another Jules Verne book.
Huh.
Yeah, he wrote that book.
Okay, real quick, and something I was going to mention in this, but since you mentioned that, why is 20,000 so popular?
I think just because that's what they made at that time. That was a deep thing, and they just wanted to invoke that idea.
So basically,
the beast from 20,000 fathoms is from this one.
Yeah, there's another one 20,000. There's
a measurement of length I do not fucking know.
So I'm wondering when did that come out? Do you remember? Do you know?
20,000's Under the Sea, and the Jules Verne books that I read, those were from the 1800s.
So I'm wondering then if they did those 20,000 as a reference, as a way to invoke that idea.
Yeah. Or they may have done a 20,000 Leagues movie recently that they didn't cover in this because there's not too many jars. The main thing about that is the fucking giant squid. But that book is fucking bizarre. It's this captain and his 2 mates who are kidnapped by the guy who has the fucking submarine. What the fuck is his name?
I couldn't tell
Ishmael. You know the captain. Oh god, you saw League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Nope.
Oh god, the captain, Captain Nemo. He's the one who kidnapped them in the book.
Huh.
Yeah, he's the one who kidnaps them, and in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, they just use his boat to get around, which is the boat from the 20,000 Leagues story. He's a crazy person who refuses to come back on land, and he will never leave his boat, and he's just kidnapping people and showing them the fucking lost city of Atlantis and giant squids and all kinds of crazy ass shit, and then firing on ships at the surface because he hates land and nobody knows he's a mysterious weirdo. That one was more interesting than Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was actually legit an interesting book.
Huh.
Yeah, the other book he did was Mysterious Island, which is another adaptation in this series of weird shit. But yeah, the Lost World movies, it's a fun genre. Obviously, you could possibly include the actual Jurassic Park series, which I also wanted to talk about. A franchise
I joked ironically at times about, the Jurassic Park looks different than I remember.
Yeah, that'd be fun. If this movie came out, this doc came out like 2 years before or 3 years before the first movie, which is another thing that, like, one of my literal earliest memories is as a fucking 2 to 3 year old baby. That movie being on and me screaming my head off at the beginning scene with the raptor in the box. Just like, I don't know, I think my parents brought me to the theater. I was just fucking losing my shit at that scene. But now that...
my trauma was actually, it was a live action. We went to Universal and we rode the Jaws ride, which isn't even there anymore. And my seat was right next to where, like, when the last pop-ups came. And it probably only lasted... 2 seconds, but to me, I was like screaming my head off, and it felt like an hour. It felt like it was like next to me for like a full minute, because I was as close to it as no more than I was as no farther than how you and I are, which is 4 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that scared the shit out of me. That was my trauma.
Exactly.
My parents laughing at me, screaming.
Yeah. The exact same thing, the Universal King Kong ride, which has since been, taken down for multiple fires, which I can completely understand.
I'm sure it's Twisters.
It was like
now.
What?
Probably made it Twisters again.
Probably over to the Jurassic Park rides now. It was like a weird, crazy, like you were like on like a set, like a train or whatever the hell, and then like King Kong would be like screaming in the city. A giant earthquake would happen, and like you would slope forward. You'd be like, oh, you're falling in, and, like big fire shooting everywhere, and a big giant ape. I remember feeling the fucking heat from that thing and being terrified. Now like 30 years later, hearing like, I was shut down because there were so many fucking fires. I'm like, you know what? That sounds 100% right. I was in line screaming, going to the ride because I did not want to get on the ride because I was so fucking terrified of it. Probably because of this fucking movie, honestly. Like, oh, okay, God, oh my God, no. And they're like, Matthew, come on. And then I have no idea why the hell my parents forced me on that thing. But I'm glad I did.
I mean, as a parent now, like,
yeah,
I love my children, but
that's honestly a thing that what's it called? Another thing to bring up Scott Aukerman again. He was talking about how when his kid, he's like just as a recent father too, and or nieces and nephews back in the day, like they'll be like screaming their heads off, like no, don't let me on the ride, no, screaming, and then afterwards they're like, that was fun, that's a core memory. I'm gonna not don't say that, but it's like they're like, oh, that was so much fun. Now I'm like, yeah, that King Kong thing that was terrifying, and I remember like having a headache, screaming and crying so much to not get on. I tried to like running under the bars in the zigzag line thing to try to escape. Now I'm like, that was fun, and I didn't burn to death, which is also good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, hey, again, I remember the Jaws thing too.
Hell yeah, I know. Like, that was not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lost World movies, Jurassic Park, I was originally on before I got distracted.
That's
a franchise I love.
That part of, what would you classify that as?
I would consider that the Lost World movie, since they're literally a bunch of like explorers trapped in an area with dinosaurs and shit.
But like, it's weird because it feels in that weird, like it is
kaiju and
untouched. It feels like it's almost like a blend of them all, because it's got that aspect of things lost from time, but there's also the man-made, which shows up a lot into this.
Yeah.
And then there's also the kaiju
escaping to the city thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you see any of the worlds beyond the first one, Jurassic World?
I've seen the Jurassic World. I've seen the one with the. I think I've seen all of them as they've come out since.
All right,
there's the third one's Dominion, right, with the returning folks.
The Giganotosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the first Deinonychus is in the series, which are what the raptors literally look like. But they call them velociraptors. They're literally Deinonychuses, but whatever. The other one, the one with the evil guy in the mansion who's trying to clone him, and the girl we find out it's a clone or whatever the hell.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah. God, that fucking Indoraptor scene. I've said it a million times in my personal life, but I nearly got up and walked out of the fucking theater when that goddamn Indoraptor looked into the camera and smirked. I was so fucking angry. I literally almost screamed in the theater and fucking left because that was so fucking stupid.
Which is a shame because in design wise, it
looks like a fucking slazzle,
but it was terrifying.
It was cool, but it was like that fucking dumbass smirking, staring to the camera. I was like, fuck you.
That was a film that definitely should have utilize that asset a hell of a lot more than it did.
Another thing that was on the list of possibilities was the director's cut of one of those is 2 hours and 40 minutes. I would have done that but like along with the couple, like just like the Godzilla movie, which we'll get into later, I also wanted to do. But I was like, you know what, this is a general blanket enough movie that we can cover those topics. Like I've said, I love Jurassic Park. I also read those books back in the day, and I fucking hated them.
I know that the second
Crichton
book was literally written after the movie came out.
After it
Like,
was a
they
success,
straight up said, "Hey, Michael Crichton, write another book. We want to make a movie. Please write another book."
Yeah, that giant weirdo. He's like fucking. That guy's a fucking weird.
Michael
freak.
Crichton?
Michael Crichton is a fucking freak. Yeah,
Oh.
he's
A good freak, a bad freak?
bad freak. I mean, he has like, I think he has like maybe a doctorate or something like that. That's why all of his books are so science based. He's also like fucking 7 feet tall. Yeah, but he's also one of those weird, like, no offense, Christian scientists who are like, you can pray disease away.
Oh, fuck that.
And then guess what? He died from a very easily curable disease. But what are you gonna do? He's also very, very right wing. So that's also
fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Like, listen, good work, but fuck bad person.
You made some good books. I loved the bit in Congo when they shot the white monkeys with the laser. That was pretty great.
Oh god, Congo.
Yeah, but your
oh my god.
but
You
your
wrote
personal
Congo?
taste. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you also wrote Congo. He wrote a shit ton of stuff.
Holy shit.
But yeah, no, he was a crazy person. But like,
Technically, that would count as a lost film movie.
Lost World. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No, the diamonds.
My diamonds.
Oh, Tim Curry's in that.
Stop
movie
eating my
too.
sesame cake. Fucking.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Something that would kill me.
Oh my god, that movie.
Yeah, but beyond that, the Jurassic Park books I really did not like. I don't know why they get so much love. I did not care for them. I think the movies are way, way better.
Honestly, I agree. I know bits and pieces. Like I know, like John Hammond, I think gets killed.
Yeah.
In the books, and like there's other stuff that it was changed, and like I feel like the first film especially, did a great job with every character.
Oh, 100%.
Like the like you look at the lawyer, he had enough scenes that we knew everything about him. So he wasn't some random person getting killed. He wasn't very slimy. Like, yes, you were sad that person died.
Yeah.
But like if a person is going to be ripped off of a toilet and swung around, that was the person to do it too.
That Weird Al bit from the song. A huge Tyrannosaurus ain't a lawyer.
I suppose that proves they're really not all bad.
I did that song to my Spotify playlist recently.
I did. So the guy who I did it with is
nice
right
phrasing, Ed.
He's a so I did lip sync to that film.
Oh,
with
film
to that song. Jesus Christ! And the person
we only had a couple of beers.
The person I did the lip sync with, he's far right nowadays, so like. He doesn't think he was privileged, even though he grew up in like the super richest area. Yeah. He literally, his scoutmaster was Ty Detmer, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. That was his scoutmaster for Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or whatever. So like he grew up and his backyard didn't have a fence. It was just a golf course. He grew up extremely rich. Yeah. Anyway, we did that song for a lip sync thing. Like everyone did, like that was the year like people did Blue and I think It's My Party, like all those popular songs. Yeah. Meanwhile, him and I did Weird Al, Jurassic Park, and literally I had a T-Rex mask, and one of us was like one of us at one point had it and everything.
Oh god, that was so fun.
That was such a good song.
But yeah, the fucking Jurassic Park series, my personal favorite is 3, which I think a lot of people think is one of the worst, but I fucking love that Spinosaurus. It became one of my top 3 dinosaurs from that fucking movie.
I think that film is not a good film.
The pterodactyl scene is beautifully terrifying.
But like it does a lot. I will say that it does do a lot of good stuff, and it's just like. The problem is I think there was a lot of good scenes, but the story itself was kind of like a loose, whatever. It's like it was too ratty. I guess is the best way. I don't know how to explain it. Like the core of the film was solid. It's just the outer shell, the story was the weakest part. And
I think the characters is probably some of the worst humans.
That too, definitely.
The stupid rich couple. I thought that was pretty funny. How incompetent that dumbass who fucking pulled out a bullhorn to call for her son. Just like, where are you? And then she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you crazy? Put that thing away. And then she literally didn't listen to him like, where are you? And the fact that they lied to Ian Malcolm to get him back to the island to find her stupid idiot son.
But I like that it took off quick.
Yeah.
I think honestly that film needed more people in the party to get picked off.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of good horror scenes that
There was like 2 or 3 randos that get killed.
basically like the Lost World. Oh, that was your thing.
Yeah.
The Lost World had a huge cast, and they got picked off well. We needed that in the third one. It would have been better. Because I agree. I like that they were like this bad couple. Like all the military dudes almost basically got killed straight up.
Yeah.
And I liked you saw him back, Sadler back and all them, and it was terrifying. And the kid was also awesome. The kid was
great.
was kick ass.
He's like, is this T-Rex
him and Grant.
pee? He's like, yeah, it keeps some of the smaller ones away, but it packs this big one with a fin. It's just like, that fucking movie's great.
But like honestly, like that was the if you either needed more of like the cast or you needed more because Grant and that kid did great.
Yeah,
they were what carried that film.
I think his assistant, who was like really enthusiastic about coming to the island, even though Malcolm, he was fucking terrified.
Billy.
Sam Neill was terrified. But his friend, he was like really enthusiastic, and then he steals the raptor, and that becomes a huge plot point. That's a really fun bit in the movie and everything.
I did like that too. And definitely it's not bad. I feel like it's definitely better than 2. Though I did play there was a video game that came out that I played a shit ton of for the Lost World, the second one, and of course that was another film where Eddie gets killed. And again, that was another problem with the first film had the T-Rex big kill be the lawyer, the sleazy guy get ripped off the toilet, but who gets that honor in the second film? Eddie. First off, another Eddie.
Was that Vince Vaughn's character?
No, he survives.
That
was the bald guy.
Oh, the guy with the red head. Yeah, the redhead guy.
I don't even be a redhead. He was a smaller bald guy because he's the one who literally, like, as they're in the trailer as it's falling off, he gets in the Jeep to pull it up, and the T-Rex just come and literally rip him in half. Eddie Carr.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Okay,
But of course, that dude, the guy who saved them, who like came back to help out and all this stuff, that's the dude who gets ripped in half.
Yeah.
Like that was not the raptor scene before
absolutely incredible.
before they get to the outlet.
The tall grass. Stay out of the long grass.
Me and my dad quote that all the time. The long grass.
Don't go into the long grass.
That is a banger horror scene that is like unmatched.
Oh yeah.
For
the series has not gotten that. Yeah, that's insanely great.
That is because that is equally terrifying. It's perfectly shot.
Mm-hmm.
It is the perfect level of like massive casualties without having to overdo it. You don't show this rap, and it's also too with something that when we get back into the subject here, that we saw enough of the raptors to make them terrifying without just putting them all out there like we weren't laughing at it like a costume in Velociraptor.
Yeah, Velociraptor. It was great.
That was hysterical.
Yeah.
But like we saw enough of these raptors to be afraid of them without like them ruining the terror of what is lying beneath.
And then one gets killed with gymnastics like one scene later. A scene that people hate, but I thought was pretty cool when I was a kid watching it. I thought it was like, it's really fucking cool. She killed the Velociraptor with the gymnastics, but everyone on the planet apparently hated that scene. Just like a bunch of fucking butthurt T-Rex fans are still pissed that fucking the Spinosaurus aegypticus fucking beat the shit out of that T-Rex, which I love.
See, ironically, I like that they get
that.
Well, see, I love that in World they have a slight like T-Rex domination scene.
They've done that more than once actually. The actually legit amazing series, Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, I think. They're 2 animated series that are canonical to the Jurassic World movies. Mm-hmm. They've run like both of them run for like 3 to 5 seasons, both of them.
I feel
like that one continues into the other. Like Camp Cretaceous is the first series, these kids trapped on the island after the park shut down from that fucking insanity of Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. These 4 kids who won a contest are like trapped on the fucking island after that. That season lasts for like 3 or 4 seasons, I think. They escape, but they're still tied with InGen and a bunch of other companies that are trying to get the dinosaur DNA after the events of the second World movie and the third World movie happened. Chaos Theory is the current series running on Netflix.
I feel like I have
following the same people. Yeah, following the same. Like half of them are villains now, half of them are good guys. And it's really fucking fantastic. It's a really good, legit show. I might cover it on Action Toon Bros one of these days, but it's like there's a bunch of other fucking dunking on Spinosaurus bits, like with Spinosaurus getting like dogged on by 2 T-Rexes. because obviously one couldn't fucking handle a dope ass Spinosaurus. God damn it.
See, what I liked in Jurassic World was like it was a nod to the T-Rex, being superior, but without them having like a T-Rex actually beat one kind of thing. Like the fact that it broke through the skeleton.
Yeah.
Like that was fun. That's a funny reference without
having a dunk on it directly with those.
It wasn't direct. It was direct. It was a reference that you only get if you've seen the others.
Yeah.
It was something that I like. It's funny how good that world was and how bad 2 and 3 messed up.
You mean Jurassic Park 2 and 3 or Jurassic World?
Jurassic World.
I think Jurassic World 1. I left the theater mildly disappointed.
Really?
And then I think 2, the second one and the third one are both bad movies with dinosaurs, which make me like the dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I obviously just fucking this shit hypnotized me as a child. I fucking obsessed with dinosaurs now. But I think that the entire World series is not good.
See, that's
why I was going to cover it for the podcast, and I was going to probably be shitting on it the entire time, like Monster Hunter.
I liked Monster Hunter. I liked Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
And I liked the first Jurassic World because I felt like it to me was similar enough to like how The Force Awakens was kind of like a reskin, whatever. But it had enough of like a newer thing here and there, like because in the film too, like yes. Owen, Chris Pratt's character was the over the top badass. Like yes, but he also had Claire, who was that. Like I like that she took charge and she was like trying, even though she like wasn't that great. I liked the idea. I also liked that you had like such a great villain, and the dude's like, "We're gonna use those Velociraptors." You training the Velociraptors. I like the idea of
Vincent
that.
D'Onofrio,
and I like too like even though Chris Pratt's character was a badass, you saw at the same time like. He didn't fully control the Raptors, even in the opening of it. But he had enough of a thing where you could see the trend go. I liked, Claire. I liked the kids kind of, surviving and making it through.
Man, nah, I don't like those kids. I think they're worse than the 2 annoying kids from the original Jurassic Park.
I see. I didn't think that.
I think those 2 kids were like overly, incongruously competent in the first Jurassic Park, which made them kind of like silly. But those 2 kids were kind of just like annoyingly weird. I didn't care for those 2.
I liked that. I liked the film. It was enough different, but I liked the idea, like the concept of the I-Rex. Was it? No, that was the
Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex.
No, Indo-Rex was the large one. Indoraptor.
Yeah, because I remember in the beginning of the second one, that's when they go and they get this fossil.
The DNA to make
but
the Indoraptor.
I liked the Indominus Rex. I thought like that's a genius way of. Creating. It's not just the park broke out and or someone sabotaged it. It was literally they didn't understand what they were playing with.
Yeah,
and like they were just incompetent and dumb. Where they were like, wait, it's invisible, and like wait, and I like to do that like, because they used this DNA. Like I even mentioned too, like in the first film, subtly like. There's eggs. Oh, they switch gender. This frog can switch genders, so life finds a way. I like that idea. Was whatever. Yeah. Into it. And also, I love the fact that it did not get, like, yes, there was the big fight, with the T-Rex and the Raptor taking it on, but they don't win. And what kills it is the most, like, Deus Ex Machina thing that's still hysterical. Yeah. It just jumps up, grabs it.
So it could do that to the park at any time, just jump the fuck out of the fucking pool. Like, what the hell?
I thought that was hysterical.
The Mosasaurus was great, yeah. I would say, back to World again, because we're going to be on that for another minute now, probably. Let's see, the Indominus Rex... was alright design. Indoraptor, I already told you the design, I like it. It looks like a weird slazzle, pervy design.
It was over the top, but it was meant to be something that was like I wish that was a film that if they had spent much less time on like the setup of the auction, and that auction took place in the first 20 minutes, you could have had that thing running around at the halfway mark, and half the film better. Could have been just escape. And then also too, you have this huge group of like investor people. Trap them. Like, the heroes have to survive not only this terrifying monster, but also all these other nasty garbage people. And we get to see these terrible people who...
Yes, get eaten by dinosaurs. That'd be wonderful.
Yes! Show me people getting eaten by dinosaurs. Do you not understand why we watch these movies?
No. I mean, did you not watch the third one where the villain was genetically engineered locusts? Which fucking sucks.
That was weird. But I did like the callback that Dotson was in it.
That was funny, yeah.
That was one of the best things about that movie was that Dotson from the motherfucking first ass film was the spoiler alert, was the bad guy.
Yeah, that was a good call. But yeah, and then the Giganotosaurus
how
was
fucking long to even get into the dinosaur. They literally had a dinosaur world that they could have explored, and they took over half the movie to get there.
No, yeah, the underground auction thing. The best part of that movie, I saw I just saw like a little montage clip sequence of it. I think it's an Allosaurus and a Ceratosaurus, or no, it's a Carnosaurus. Or Carnotaurus, I believe. Yeah, a Carnotaurus and an Allosaurus who were helping each other the entire. Like you probably don't notice in the movie the first time you watch it, but when they escape, they almost eat Chris Pratt's character. Like they bump into each other. After that, there's like 3 scenes of them working together and killing people in the background. The entire rest of the movie. It's like the Carnotaurus with the 2 horns, and then the regular Allosaurus was like just a big the one like horn at the end of the nose. They like bump heads at one point, but later they're running around the park like they're in 2 different lanes, like eating people in the auction area, and then later in the big giant open part of the area, they're like fucking like throwing people to each other. Like,
I remember that. Yeah, I do
those 2 fucking rule. The Giganotosaurus getting killed by the Therizinosaurus, and was anything else involved with that? Another fucking T-Rex or something stupid like that.
I remember in the second one.
No, in the third one, the Giganotosaurus is killed by the Therizino stabbing it in the neck, but something else happens. The one with the long claws.
There was. I don't even remember. That was the big They had these great the cast, and it was just. I think the most I remember was the scene like where they had like those it was like those like raptors that were basically the Indoraptor 2.0 or whatever, and like they had to like run through the whole city like a full chase scene away from them. That's honestly what I remember more so than almost anything other than like anything that happened. I think there was like a weird like Spinosaurus like subterranean thing that they were trapped.
Oh, that was the Baryonyx. Yeah, the Baryonyx at one point. That was in the second movie when they were like in that facility. And, like,
no, it was like they were in like the tunnels.
Yeah, the tunnel area. That was a Baryonyx in That
was the third one.
The third one. Oh no.
Because Malcolm
that was a Dimetrodon.
Because Ian Malcolm left some.
Yeah, no,
out.
in the caves or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
that was a Dimetrodon. That's not a dinosaur. Come on, Ed. Everyone knows Dimetrodons are genetically closer to literal humanoid than they are reptiles like dinosaurs.
So sorry.
Ugh. You didn't listen to my Primal episode, Ed, where I went on freaking Spectrum Leave for hours about dinosaur facts because I fucking love this here, love dinosaurs so much. No, yeah, that was Dimetrodons in the cave. Jurassic Park's a fucking great series. The next one, out of fucking Lost World movies, the next genre I mentioned was fantasy epics.
So like
I know me and you both saw the 2 shitty Hercules movies from the teens.
The
one with the dude from Twilight, and then
that's
the one
I
from
saw.
The Rock.
I didn't see the Rock one.
The Rock one, the first one, the one with the dude from Twilight. I forgot his name, but like that was like a more traditional.
That wasn't Lutz, right?
Not Kellen Lutz. No.
Okay.
No, the other one, the white one. Or the more white one.
I would say you're talking about Twilight. There's a lot of white people.
The buff brother of the Cullens.
That was Kellen Lutz.
Is it?
Yeah, Kellen Lutz was the super
Jacob's. What's Jacob's actor's name?
Jacob was Taylor Lautner.
Okay, Kellen Lutz. Yeah, Kellen Lutz.
Kellen Lutz.
Yeah, it was Kellen Lutz's Hercules movie, which I don't remember a fucking single. I think I remember him fighting the Nemean lion, and that was like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I don't remember. I think I remember he was like chained at one point. He uses them, and I don't remember anything.
Yeah, that movie was
I do remember thinking it was dumb, but I didn't hate it.
It was whatever. It was forgettable, honestly. Literally, it was a 6 out of 6.5 movie that you forget immediately.
It was a popcorn film.
Yeah, and then that same year, I'm pretty sure the Rock Hercules movie came out, which the main gimmick of that one was that it's like a non-fantasy world. He lied about killing the Nemean lion. It wasn't like a giant lion, but it was a regular lion he killed. And then like the quote-unquote Hydra was like an army of guys who were like snake hats that he killed.
Huh.
That was like the main gimmick of that movie, spoiler alert. But like he like lied about all the crazy fantasy stuff, but then he like fights some evil king or something stupid like that. But it's The Rock, so we're over there for that. Those 2 movies. Did you see Clash of the Titans? The Oz one?
Nope.
It's legit, honestly, another movie I wanted to do for this podcast. It's a fun, shitty, once again, like 7.5, really broy movie. Like 300, another movie I'm going to talk about. I was sitting
I did see both 300s.
Of course, I was sitting at the car dealership waiting for my car to be repaired or updated or something like that one time, and I was there for like hours. They had the first 300 on, and I remember back in high school showing trailers of that movie to Dimitri, R.I.P. And like the trailer for that movie 300 blew his fucking mind. I've never seen such a crazy dude in his own right. His mind was absolutely blown by the commercial for 300 trailer. Like, speaking of trailers, and so I love that movie to death. But like seeing it, it was like a couple, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I saw it, and it was so comedically broy. I had no recollection.
Trailer?
No, the movie.
Oh.
300 is so aughts, broy, it's not even funny. Every line is just like, fucking dudes rock, and like, fucking hell yeah, bro. Like, they might as well be saying shit like that. It's so weird, because I didn't get that at all back in 2007.
Now I gotta watch this.
2008 or whatever the hell. The movie is so broy. They're obviously all British, and they're all speaking in their crazy accents. They're all shirtless and bronzed up. But like, it is like, thematically and narratively, it is so fucking dudes rule. Broy.
I mean,
that's the point of the movie. But it's like,
that definitely is the point of the movie.
Yeah, but it's like, you go like, oh yeah, this is a Zack Snyder fucking movie. It's like one of his first movies. But yeah,
I'm curious now after seeing Justice League how I'd feel about 300, because I mean, my opinion on Snyder Cut is well known.
But honestly, post Monster Hunter World, if we did that movie again, I probably would be defending it much more strongly. While you get more angry about the movie, I'd be more like, no, you don't get it. He's an auteur. But no, like But yeah, that movie was surprisingly broy. Still fun. Another fantasy movie. The Clash of the Titans one with boring actor who no one remembers his name. What the fuck is his name? I learned he was in a shit ton of movies in the aughts. Shit ton of action movies. The dude from Avatar. What the hell was his name?
Fuck, I can't remember.
He's incredibly boring. Sam Worthington.
Oh, that doesn't. Yeah, this tells me.
He's like a fucking very generically handsome.
I mean, he is the cookie cutter white. I remember.
He's one of a million cookie cutter white guys. Yeah.
Yes, we are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is
generic as shit.
Motherfucking, you show me a cookie ass mold.
Yeah, no, literally that dude.
That dude is fresh as a goddamn mold.
But in that movie, the best part of that movie, Hades,
which film?
The Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
2010 Clash of the Titans. Liam Neeson as Zeus, fantastic. And then Ray Fiennes as Hades, incredible. And then when the two of them need to fight fucking Kronos and the other Titan, it is so fucking cool. That movie's legit. It's another very forgettable, shitty movie.
I remember
it's fun.
I remember because I came in at 2010, and I remember the cover from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Because it was like a very orange, reddish, like warm colored.
Oh no, you're thinking of Immortals. The one with Henry Cavill.
With him in like almost like a cherry kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another.
But then Clash of Titans. Oh, the Clash of Titans did have is him fighting something. It was
the Kraken, the big Kraken. Kellen. What the fuck? The Lutz we just talked about. What's
Kellen.
His name? Kellen Lutz is in Immortals with Henry Cavill. They became another movie that came out almost at the exact same year.
I remember that trailer cover. Whatever. Too.
Yeah, 2011. That one came out. That's the incredibly brown one. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
every scene of the movie is like very, very brown.
Jesus Christ, those are yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I feel you remember.
This movie, Clash of Titans was the other one.
We'll look at the cover.
I just looked up the cover a little bit ago, but yeah, no. Immortals is fun. That's the one with the really cool stylistic, like slow motion death whenever the gods get killed, and there's some really, really cool. He makes that Zeus picks up that giant fire weapon, like blasts a dude into a wall. That Immortals is fun. I probably would do that in the podcast in the future. It's so fun.
Okay, this is the one I remember. Yeah, so it was him holding up the Medusa
head. The Medusa head. Yeah, the Medusa bit in that movie is fantastic too because they actually give her like the actual sad backstory.
See see how it's warmer there.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I was thinking. I remember seeing these trailers and then.
Yeah, Immortals. I think Immortals is a better movie. I probably would do that for the podcast at some point also before Clash of Titans. I think it's another shitty. It's a shittier movie, but it's more fun.
That might be a good double feature film.
Yeah, but yeah, what do you think about those kind of like the fantasy epic? Those are all. I mean,
honestly, the Odyssey is that too.
Which one?
Well, any of them.
Coming soon, Nolan fucking Odyssey movie, Matt Damon as Odysseus.
There's another one of those coming out?
I mean, come on, it's a Nolan movie, it's gonna be fucking legit awesome. Have you seen this big ass Roman helmet on fucking Matt Damon? Looks fucking awesome as shit.
I haven't seen the trailer for that film.
No trailer yet. No trailer yet. Just a literal still image of Matt Damon as Odysseus, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be fucking beautiful
I remember
insane.
They played that for us back in the day, like one of those Odyssey movies that came out.
Yeah. Oh,
I know
Troy.
that was a
Troy.
No, not Troy. It was like
Troy's
literally
incredible.
There was a film, The Odyssey, that is literally just The Odyssey on film.
There's a bunch of those.
I'm sure we watched it in school.
I feel like, yeah, I do remember that. I think it might have been like a weird, like a sci-fi channel or like straight to DVD thing, maybe.
I don't know what that I remember now because I know I remember this movie.
But yeah, all those
crazy.
Roman Greek adventure movies are fucking incredible. And of course, we gushed about it enough on the actual episode. Percy Jackson is from that period of time.
1997?
Probably.
The Odyssey, 1997.
Yeah. I remember if it's like a long, like 2-part like TV thing, because that's what I remember.
Oh, and I've seen Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Robert Pattinson's in it.
Hell yeah.
Hold on, I
Oh,
gotta
he's
see
like
his
a good-ass
picture now, because
character.
who the hell is in this one?
We are so far into this podcast, we're still not close to the movie yet.
John Leguizamo's in it. Elliot Page is in it.
The old movie? Or
No,
new
the
one?
Christopher Nolan's.
That movie's gonna be fucking awesome.
All right, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway.
I am no
Lupita
Nolan Nyong'o.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yes, thank
You know
you.
her from fucking a ton of shit.
I'm sure the name. I think
Yeah, but-
pronouncing the name because I would have fucked that up
Yeah, but
so
no,
hard.
beyond that, but yeah,
Hold on,
that
I'm gonna
movie's-
read this cast list here.
Oh,
damn it.
come on.
Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal,
Hell
who is
yeah.
Shane from Walking Dead.
Really, not the Punisher, Ed? She was like fucking 20 years ago. He's been the
Never
Punisher
watched-
for like a dozen movies and
Haven't
TV
seen that.
shows.
Punisher.
Oh, speaking of spoil,
Benny
to
Safdie.
date this podcast, you forgot that the Punisher. You didn't see the none of the Netflix or Punisher movie stuff or TV show stuff.
Nope.
He was just announced like 2 days ago that he's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh shit.
He's going to be blasting his heads off and be like, he's going to be like, no, stop it. he's fucking brutal in the new current Daredevil TV show on Disney Plus. That motherfucker is blasting people's heads off with shotguns.
Jesus.
He's a fucking Punisher. He's great.
1977. Oh yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the 1977 Odyssey: The Ultimate Trip. This sounds like the one. I don't know. I'm probably won't be able to find it. Because you search.
There's a million adaptations of the Odyssey. Is a story that I do enjoy. Like this genre, all three of these I really love. But again, probably fucking the core of Matthews unlocked in this fucking silly ass trailer sequence. But I love this whole genre of movies. All the ones we listed, I've literally seen them all in theaters because I fucking love Roman Greek mythology and fucking adventures like that.
So when you by the way,
fun.
with this fancy epic stuff, are you talking more so like like non-Christian mythology films, or like
The ones that
any
we
kind
see,
of like
Jason and the Argonauts, Adventures of Sinbad, all the adaptations of, like we said, Clash of the Titans, which is another. There was no footage from Clash of the Titans because that was from the 80s, I think, or something like that. But it's another like claymation. Movie
Yeah,
with, like, a big
I remember
monster
that,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, those are all, like, I'd say fantasy epic, but they're technically all Greek
or Roman.
adaptation. Yeah, well, no, none of them are Roman. They're all Greek. They're all very specifically Greek.
Oh yeah.
Adaptations of stories from ancient Greece. I just love the genre because there's so many fun random monsters in it.
See, I think I feel like I feel like that genre, like that one is like I don't look for them, but I don't mind them.
If one's in
just-
theaters and it's a high production, I will go see it.
I said I just want to have. Sometimes I want to just have fun with it, and I
Yeah.
think too like I love Percy Jackson. Obviously, I chose that for the podcast, but I think like I like when they're updated or they do like that. Like, and honestly, this is how I feel with a lot of stuff, and I'm sure we'll mention it to some point with remakes. Is like when you're doing something that's already existing, why are you just doing the exact same thing but with fancier graphics or updated visuals? When it's like that's not the. I feel like the best films that are remakes take what they did and find a new spin or do their own thing. They can stand alone.
Yeah.
In terms of it, like that's why I liked Jurassic World. Is I felt like just because that film connected to Jurassic Park
Was a requel. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
That's what the Scream 5. That's what they called Force Awakens and
Yeah.
one.
I mean, but like Jurassic World to me felt very much like it felt like it had a lot of callbacks, but it felt like its own thing. Like it was like if that film had come out and somehow the first three could just get completely wiped away, I feel like the film would stand on its own. I do feel like at times, like with like the Star Wars or Scream 5, I feel like if you wiped out what came before it, those films don't stand as well on their own. But I feel like Jurassic World does stand on its own, whether or not the first three films exist.
I still think it's of those three requel series. not a fan of World. But we already talked about that enough.
So, but yeah, so like I want to see, and ironically you mentioned like they're all Greek, and like I almost want to watch now. Ironically, you mentioned the Hercules with the Rock being like a weird
that
thing.
is honestly fucking bad.
Oh, I'm sure
it's
is.
the worst. It's worse than the Cullen and Lutz one we watched.
I believe that
it was. They came out like literally a year apart.
But
and that one was significantly worse.
Honestly, the concept of Hercules isn't actually what he says he is more intriguing to me than Hercules on the screen. And like I want to see stuff like that, and I think that Sinbad being mentioned here, like I want to see more mythology. Like if we're taking in just mythology, like I understand like you're looking at ancient Greek, but I guarantee you that with the right amount of like tact and prep, you could take any kind of mythology and turn it into a good action film.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I guarantee you, if someone tried, they could turn something like a Christian mythology into something.
Dozens of. Do you see fucking any of the weird ass fucking Mel Gibson movies, action and stuff? There's a lot of those weird like Christian action movies that there are around. Yeah, there's just not really have production because they're usually.
But see, I mean, like they're not like. I feel like you can take like something about the Greek mythology. I know, that I feel like you look at those films and they feel like they're almost like fictional stories come alive. Mm-hmm. But the way that the people will mostly take the Bible and Christianity and Christian and Catholic stories is they are presenting the Bible and the true religious texts kind of thing. And I think that taking like that Christian lore and
Noah. Did you see that fucking movie? The one with what the fuck is his name? Fucking fighting around the world. Fucking
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yeah.
I've not seen that film.
That fucking movie is crazy, dude. I forgot who the director was, but it's insane. That movie is fantastic. Like I obviously said before on the podcast and a number of times on my other podcasts, I'm not a religious person. That movie was fucking legit wacky and intense and in crazy high concept, but it was like really, really fucking good. One day I mentioned I fucking showed my nephew it, and he was just like, "What the hell is that? Is that how the world like was?" Like, yeah, that's what the Bible says. That's how the world was created.
See,
it's weird what they do with the angels and the Nephilim like and not completely canon to the Bible stuff, but then the actual Noah story specifically, how they handle the flooding, how they handle like the animals and everything. That movie is really, really good, and I think you should definitely check it out.
Interesting.
Russell Crowe's Noah movie is really fucking. It's crazy, but yeah, that's a very good adaptation of a religious story.
And I will throw this out too, like because I know kind of mentioned like I'm Catholic.
Noah.
I'm Catholic, but it's more like the way it's how I feel religious wise is how I feel religion is. Like my belief does not negate or should never affect anyone else's. Like I'm Catholic and I believe in that faith, but I understand like I don't know anything and everything, and just because I may not be, Jewish or Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist or anything like that, like there's no reason why, like, because we've mentioned before, like I've celebrated Passover with people.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not Jewish doesn't negate that ability, because faith is about an eternal. To me, faith is how do I grapple with the fact that I will not be here forever. How do I make it through the day when I see something terrible and bad? How do I wake up out of bed? And that is what religion is to me. So, like, my personal belief doesn't affect. And honestly, too, like, when it comes to all this, like, I don't take the Bible as pure scripture of exactly what happened.
Yeah.
One of the best things I remember is Father Tom at St. Dominic's, which is a Roman Catholic church. Ironically, I grew up Byzantine. And a fun story. So my wife was not. She was grew up Church of Christ and Christian, all that. So I grew up Byzantine Catholic, and that's how I was baptized. So at one point, we were going to ask him to marry my wife and I. Just the fact that she was married before and divorced, no problem with that. However, because I'm Byzantine Catholic, the Roman Catholic Church would have to get permission from the Byzantine, like the highest order of the Byzantine Church to marry me, being Roman Catholic, by a Roman Catholic priest, because of the way that the Catholics are. So, a divorced woman, not in the religion, no problem marrying her. Me, a Catholic person who attended the church, who was baptized in a different type of Catholicism, was the problem.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this is Father Tom he'd read the gospel, and he'd always start off with a story, and he'd look at these stories and say, well, obviously this probably didn't happen, but what lesson can we take and put it into the modern context?
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing that always resonated with me, that I stand by. The Bible is not a book of stories that actually happened. You can tell me everything in that is fiction, but I think it can be important when you look at the stories, what it represents. And into bringing it back into films, I want to see interpretations of these stories. Show me, take the lessons that these stories gave me, take the names and settings and expand upon them, and keep the core lesson of it into a good text, because that is something that's a tangential learning thing, like how Sephiroth is the name Sephiroth in Final Fantasy has a whole deep learning and lores.
The tree.
Give me that in Catholicism. I don't even need to see Noah. And also, too, something I hate, and I know you agree with me on this, because how I feel with how DC could be, and I've learned from my current run, learning about Mr. Bones, learning about Cancero, the Electric Crab Man, and learning about Egg Foo. I don't want to hear about Superman and Batman and the Joker.
No.
Tell me about motherfucking Static Shock and all these weird random heroes I've never heard of.
Hell yeah. Yep.
The second Suicide Squad was great because I don't know any of those. I damn near, literally, Idris Elba's character was just a different Deadshot, but it was a different character, and I loved that.
Bloodsport, yeah.
You had all these great characters. I want to hear about I don't want to hear about Noah and these big stories. Go into Catholicism and find me the weirdest stories possible.
Yeah, dude.
Give me that fucking film.
Hell yeah.
That's why I think Greek stories are so popular.
Yeah, because there's so many stories and they're so weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally take the Odyssey itself, and every monster in there can have its own feature-length film about its backstory and how it became the monster.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Medusa is the biggest one, but I guarantee you everything in there.
Oh, yeah, every single one.
I mean, even the... Can I even know, too, isn't there where the giant... was it Polythemus?
Polyphemus is the one with the eye who's the blinded one. That's the Odyssey. That's the Odyssey, yes.
Right, but doesn't he eventually go back at one point? Or that's retouched in another...
No, he's just blinded and nobody helps him, and that's kind of just left the way it is. Depends on the interpretation. He may have been killed or may not be, but it's never,
I think that's why Percy Jackson I liked, because they went and saw him, and I liked him, and that's why I liked him, and that's why I think the second Percy Jackson film had potential. Like getting to see him, I thought that character was great, and I loved what with Grover and all that. I liked that it was in this abandoned amusement park. I loved that, and we got to see these stories and expand upon them. I want weird shit.
Well, but to say another major story. Yeah, homework for Ed. I know you said you don't need to see it because it's one of the most popular stories. Another one of the most popular stories, obviously, is what the fuck is it, dude? I literally just was reading the thing about it. What the hell is his name? The one from the fucking Rugrats episode with the Maca babies and they're leading them out of the Moses. Okay. Exodus, Gods and Kings.
I do remember that film.
A fifth movie that I'm bringing up that was another potential movie to do for this podcast. I watched it on my own time. Same year as Noah, 2014. I thought it was kind of weird Christian action movie resurgence that probably after second. What's it called?
Moses is more.
It's Old Testament, but it's still Bible, isn't it?
I mean, it might be, but I know that's more so connected to like Judaism.
Yeah,
and the Torah.
Ridley Scott, an incredibly beautiful movie.
I'm gonna put that on my list, 'cause I do remember that movie coming out.
It's near 3 hours long.
Jesus Christ!
But it is, Christian Bale is Moses. Dude from those horror movies, Joel Edgerton is the Ramses. Absolutely incredible visuals, and there is some like giant fucking battles and stuff in the movie, which are anachronistic, obviously, to what Moses did at any point. But and also that movie has like a fucking 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, A-star director, A-star crew, insanely beautiful movie. It's just like Noah, absolutely fucking crazy. Do yourself a favor. Watch both of those movies.
That had a warm colored like poster.
Very warm color.
Yeah, but Noah Noah was very cool color.
Yeah, very
right?
cool color.
I find that ironic, by the way. But no, I do remember seeing that movie.
Yeah, and of course, if you want something, another little religious thing, you can always watch Gods of Egypt, where all but one of the gods is played by white guys, and they're like.
We already saw that film. It's got Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief.
Oh yeah, well, no, hey, if they did the fucking whatever the fuck the spin-off Egyptian series is, that'd be fucking fantastic. So yeah, the Gods of Egypt is all these movies are bad, which is funny. Noah, I saw it in theaters and I enjoyed myself, and afterwards I found it had terrible reviews. Exodus, Gods and Kings, I get why that got bad reviews. I watched it also. It's very weird and super long.
I'm interested because
watch them.
Moses, the story of Moses is such a that's a film. That's like I think an example of like a story that even though it's been retold so many times, like Ten Commandments is literally that film as well.
Interpretation.
But like the Prince of Egypt. The animated film, that is another... Like,
I would watch those together, honestly. It's like a double feature to see the differences in them.
The Prince of Egypt itself is, like, obviously visually beautiful. And, like, I'm sure people will point out, like, the issues. But, like, that took it and put the music to it. And it was an animated style that took itself seriously. And, like, I mean, that genuinely has some fucking moments in it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even the "Let My People Go" song, like the visuals in like that visual. There's a near the end of the song too, where you've got Moses, ironically, in red and Ramesses in blue, I think it was, and like you see both our halves of their face like on the same thing, and it flips, in the scenes or whatever, and then also the visuals on. Playing with the Big Boys.
I was literally thinking about that song. My favorite song of the movie.
The visuals in that are so good. Yeah. And this is such a that's example I think of what I was talking about with Christian mythology being whatever. Like that is a single story. Moses abandoned, because of what happened to him, raised. Let my people go. Spears to God. Runs away. Speaks to God. It's very you can make that film in 10 minutes.
Watch Exodus. But I'm saying, dude,
but that spans out.
It's a huge movie that's 3 hours long, but it's beautifully shot. Ridley Scott's a great director visually, but he does make some really dumb shit like Prometheus. So, and he also
I don't get how.
I mean, he was great in the 80s when he made Alien or whatever, but he's made a lot of shitty, weird movies too.
It's funny.
They're all beautiful.
It's really ironic too when you think, and I know it's a little off topic here, but what else? When are we not?
I mean, we're coming up
Alien and Aliens. I mean, those are the same franchise.
Yeah, completely different genres.
And
that's why they're excellent. Yeah,
like it is crazy too, like how different. And I think that's ironically too. I think that's important to show, like how not only a director but how you look at as a franchise is important, because when you look at those films, I mean, again, both of those have an alien, but like both of them feel like they fit into the world because they understand the context of their setting and the characters in them. Like the first one is a horror because this is a singular ship. It's it's attacking from the shadows because it's alone.
They call the first one a slasher movie in space. Yeah,
right. But then the second one, because there's multiple of them, they have the hive mind, whatever, and it shows the power of the fact that this one thing that was just, randomly having to hide out.
Yeah.
Well, I get why it was hiding out, because it can be killed, overpowered, and it had to take advantage of that. Yeah. But you also see what it was, leading up to with the queen.
Yeah.
And then, of course, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
films are incredible.
There's a lot of great movies out there. Give yourself a favor, fucking watch some weird shit. There's always tons of fun stuff. Go watch Noah and Exodus, Gods of Egypt, or whatever the fuck.
You're not going to be able to split this episode up, by the way.
No, I'll never be able to split this episode. We're already at 2 hours and 30 minutes almost.
I believe it, and we still haven't even technically touched the actual film.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, we're not even at the third and literally objectively most populous type of movie in this fucking thing, kaiju movies. Now we're gonna hit kaiju movies. So I'm gonna force myself off of fantasy epics, even though I have a lot more to say about them. Kaiju movies. You have not seen any of the new legendary Godzilla movies? That's the MonsterVerse, aka the 2018, the American half of the.
No, I think I started watching the newest Godzilla at one point, but I never finished
Kong?
it. No. Well, no, I did. You talking about the one with Jack Black?
That's King Kong.
Okay.
That was like 2004
There's so many
or 5.
of them. That one I saw.
That movie's fucking video game was so fucking good. And I'm not the only one saying that. Like, it's like a fucking meme that people were saying.
That was like GameCube, PS2, Xbox era, right?
maybe PS3, Xbox 360 era. I think maybe. I have to double check. I'm not gonna. But but that.
I want to say that would have been PS2 era because PS3 was 2006.
Oh, now you're gonna make me look it up. If you're gonna disagree with me now, I have to look it up. Yes. but that game, legit, like there are so many people who are like, wow, that game was fucking bizarrely really fucking good.
Yeah, that was PS2 GameCube.
Also, I can't go look up King Kong game without that shitty new one coming up, which is hilarious because everyone knows how shitty that fucking thing is. 2005.
But yeah, no, I didn't see the newest Kong. I didn't see. I guess I saw maybe like the opening of the first of the MonsterVerse Godzilla, and I was nothing. The one with Bryan Cranston.
All right, so let's see. All right, so Ed, last chance. What do you think it was on? 2005.
2005.
You gonna stick with your first guess?
I'm gonna go with my first guess. Yes.
So what was it? PS2, GameCube, and shit era.
GameCube and PS2. Yes.
All right. We're both correct. It was on the PS2, GameCube, but also 360.
Okay.
Which is I put it on 360.
So I think that's what it was because 360 falls into the PS3.
It was the first one to come out, I think, right?
Yeah, but GameCube, PS2 falls into the Xbox era.
But yeah, that game
360 was just early.
Yeah, that game was bizarrely really fucking good. Like a legit fantastic.
Also, hell yeah, we're both right.
Hell yeah. The Kong bits were really fun. The FPS bits were surprisingly well done. Like everyone's like, wow, that game was like mind-blowingly, actually surprisingly good. That movie was really fucking good. I love that movie. You didn't see the new Kong or the new Godzilla, or the new Godzilla versus King Kong, or the Godzilla versus new King Kong 2.
Nope.
The King of the Monsters movie.
Nope, none of them.
Okay, well you should. They're fantastic. The American movie, the fattest Godzilla's ever been in those movies. He's fucking huge in those designs. I
guess I know. I did see an American Godzilla.
God, no, we're not talking about fucking Zilla 2000.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
My favorite line to just randomly quote. My wife will be like, he'll say something has like a lot of something or whatever. I'm like, that's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
That is my favorite fucking line to quote.
Mr. Totopoulos. We've literally talked about, I don't know what movie we did when we were talking about this. I remember you mentioned the fish. We have, because you mentioned the fish line and I mentioned Mr. Totopoulos because Greek names are hard to say or whatever. I don't know what the fuck movie it was. It was very recent, but we did mention that Godzilla movie. Who knows anymore? But yeah,
I think we can. That's an episode down the line.
No, after this and Monster Hunter, I think I'm gonna stick with like all the ones that we're covering in this. I'm not anytime soon. I'm not gonna pick Noah or Exodus, even though both are shitty and both have a lot to talk about. I'm not gonna do any of the Jurassic Park movies, even though I'd love to talk about how much I don't like the World Series. I'm not gonna do any kaiju movies like no Godzillas or King Kongs. Like King of the Monsters, the one I showed you that Rodan from, it got like middling scores. I think that was the best of any of the like 5 legendary Godzilla and King Kong movies right now. I think it's the best. But all the Godzilla and King Kong movies have very good scores. They have like 60 to 70s on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. King of the Monsters got really bad score, but I think it's objectively the best one of that whole series.
I mean, to be fair, it's always weird.
I think subjective.
And I mean, our Monster Hunter review, like, I definitely think that touched on something that, we looked at a lot of different things, and I think as reviewers, you look for. I think you and I both have a good reviewer mindset, and I think that was ironically why we had some good disagreements on it. And I think that's probably why, like, there are movies out there that have terrible scores that are probably better than things that have good scores out there. Because I think when reviewers watch a film, sometimes they're looking at it from a different lens. Whereas there are times, too, I think that genuinely the popcorn films, the same way I feel about video games, like, like the Forspoken game.
Yeah.
That's not a game that... I mean, the story is pretty up and down. Like, there's some real moments where you can tell, like, things got cut or got trimmed or whatever. But, like, overall, it's solid. But it's not going to win the game of the year ever.
Yeah.
But I had an enjoyable time with it. And, like you mentioned with those films, like Exodus and all those, like, those are films that maybe don't win Picture of the Year and shit. But they're enjoyable for what they are. But if you're looking at it from a critique view... You're looking at it a hell lot differently than someone going to the theater looking to watch a bunch of burly men fight each other and sweat all over things.
Yeah, give me some Bible quotes, and then have a weird fucking stone monster help fucking defend the ship from you. It's great. Fucking Noah's insane. But yeah, like it's weird because like the Legendary series I really enjoy. It's a franchise that has a lot of fans now. New Godzilla fans and old Godzilla fans both enjoy it for the most part. You haven't seen Shin Godzilla. That was the Japanese one that came out, I think, in 2020 or so.
No. Is that the one that ironically had a really terrible video game?
No, there's no game for that one.
I know there was a Godzilla game.
There was like a Godzilla game that came out at the very beginning of the PS4 launch period. There was one.
Yeah.
That's the game that I bought that game. Now that game was out of print. I don't know if the company went out of business or what, but it like physical copies. Yes. Yeah, I was talking about physical copies of that game are for hundreds of dollars now.
Do you want to, if you ever want to give that game away to somebody?
I don't have a physical. I gave it away to my fucking nephews, probably fucking 8 or some shit. My cousins or some shit like that. Listen, I have a digital copy.
Next time you go over there, if they don't want it, take it back and I'll take it.
Dude, I have it on digital. It's
Matthew's cousins. Give it to me.
Yeah, right.
Give it to your Uncle Matt.
Second cousins.
Yeah. Give it to Uncle Matt.
No, probably never.
Second cousins, give it to Uncle Matt.
Yeah, sure.
I want to go to there.
It's a legit pretty fun, janky fighting game that came out, like I said, beginning of PS4 lifetime. But no, Shin Godzilla was this incredibly fantastic movie. I want to show you another trailer for that one probably sometime. But Shin Godzilla, the movie is literally like, you know how the original Godzilla was a critique of the nuclear events that had attacked Japan at that time, or whatever the hell. Sorry, I got distracted by that fly in the middle of that very important sentence. But anyway, the nuclear, like, their response saw that, because only like 10 years ago that insane shit happened to them. And then, like, the Godzilla was like the story response to it. Shin Godzilla is like a narrative response to the horrible earthquakes and the terrible mismanagement of Japan's facilities afterwards.
Huh.
Like, remember, like, the earthquakes happened and, like, tons and tons of, like, you know, all kinds of horrible reactors and stuff were, like, destroyed, including radioactive stuff.
They had also the tsunami as well.
Yeah, tsunamis and everything like that was hitting them, and, like, their governmental management of it was so terrible that this movie is, like, a critique of that. So the actual narrative parts, it's by Hideaki Anno, the fucking dude who does Evangelion. So it's an incredibly...
Godzilla's so wrong.
Nice.
Shin... God is Illa.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell that says.
Godizzala.
But yeah, Hideaki Anno, the creator of fucking Evangelion, directed that movie. Godzilla is a fucking horrible eldritch nightmare creature in that fucking film. I'd love to show you the atomic breath scene, which is fucking terrifying and weird. But the actual human parts, which are the majority of the movie, are very fucking funny. If you get what, like, Japan's, like, critiquing. Like, everyone's like, whose department is this? It's the Department of Waste's problem. And it goes to the Department of Waste. It's like, oh my god, whose problem is this? It's obviously the agricultural people's problem. They did something wrong. It's like, it's very, very comedic, but also, like, very human focused for the most part. And while they're, like, fumbling, trying to figure out whose responsibility this is, this insane, disgusting looking, creepy, terrifying Godzilla is, like, coming out of the sea in some weird new form.
Is it actually Godzilla itself?
It's Godzilla. The first time, it's like a bizarre, gross, armless, like, fucking tadpole-looking creature belching blood all over the fucking streets.
Holy shit.
And it, like, it goes back into the water, and then it comes out again, and it's like a fucking, like, normal-looking, weird, fucking, like, another weird-ass looking mid-form creature, and in the final form, when it's the Shin Godzilla, it's this creepy-looking tiny eyes and this big black thing that's, like, mouth separates, and it's fucking creepy as shit. But, like, all this time, all these people are, like, fumbling around trying to figure it out, and then, like, these gnats are everywhere. Shin Godzilla is fucking incredible. And then, of course... I put that on my... I'm going to give you another one. After that, more legendary movies in America came out, which were, like I said, King of the Monsters is my favorite of any of these. Then, the one that just came out last year, Godzilla Minus One.
Godzilla Minus One?
Yeah. That movie is a harrowing tale of a just post-World War II Japanese kamikaze pilot who failed to commit the kamikaze because he was scared and freaked out about it. Mm-hmm. He goes back to Japan after the war. It's obviously the whole country is fucking torn from the nuclear bombs.
Yeah. Everyone
thinks he's a fucking coward because he didn't kill himself in the plane and thing. And then Godzilla shows the fuck up. And this is the hardest, most powerful Godzilla. Like, mathematically probably the most powerful one so far, and he's just fucking shit up, and this guy's like prove his honor to try to, like, you know, deal with this thing that's happening around him. And it's just like the Godzilla shows up, fucking its atomic breath scene is one of the fucking craziest you'll see. I gotta say about all these, but, like, it's a really fucking, like, physically terrifying, like, sharp and creepy looking Godzilla, and he's like, yeah, like, it's like destroying Japan again. Like, the nuclear bombs just happened, and then this fucking thing is showing up and fucking it up way more. But it's also, like I said, narratively, it is just a very hard drama following this, like, pilot who's living, like, in a shelter with all the other people who are homeless after the bombs and everything. And he's just, like, yeah, trying to exist. And it's just, like, time goes forward, like, years pass and everything like that, and the Godzilla keeps coming back every once in a while. Godzilla Minus One, it won a shit ton of awards. It was an incredibly low budget movie, but like it got fucking praise. It made like fucking, it was like one of the highest money making movies to ever release, but it cost almost nothing
Jesus
to make.
Christ.
And it was like a huge thing people were talking about, like how movie making costs and all that kind of stuff. Like the Godzilla looks fantastic. The movie is a great narrative. It's also fun action, but also really good story. And, like, it got tons and tons of praise. So Godzilla Minus One, just recently came out. And then, of course, after that, fucking Godzilla vs. King Kong over in America. He's fucking shooting lasers at this giant ice dragon. It's fucking great.
It's ironic you mentioned that, like, Minus One and Shin Godzilla are both, like, critique in Japanese culture. Because, so something I've noticed, and it's a little tangential, but, what else is new in our podcast? So, like, I learned recently too about like so obviously my wife's been getting a lot of K-pop and she's learning Korean and everything with so like Squid Game, so like it's funny how like while yes it's going to resonate here in the States, especially nowadays in this year of 2025, but like learning too about how like Korean culture has developed to the point too like I didn't even realize how apparently South Korea for the longest time was basically under pure Japanese rule to the point where like if you were a Korean citizen and you did not give up and adopt a Japanese like identity, you were like excluded from like public life almost. Yeah. So like it's ironic to hear about all that and learn how it's not been that long. And you see like this transformation. Ironically, you see it. I mean, you're seeing more and more Korean influence worldwide, and it makes sense when you learn about that small history. But like Squid Game itself, like there's so many things that are pure Korean, and like I think that is why Squid Game became as popular as it is just because it is a very universal thing told from a perspective of Korean culture that is even probably more impactful. And ironically too, like I think season 2, again, obviously still coming from a Korean narrative, like, is still tackling universal things. So, like, I believe it's player 120 or 128, the trans, like, here in America, yes, there's going to be connective tissue. If you are transgender in America, especially again in the year 2025, you are under attack. But in in South Korea, like, it's even more restrictive and even especially more rare, and it is more potentially life-threatening and dangerous and altering to the point, and I think that's where some of these characters and everything are able to transcend the views while also being from their native country, and I think that is something that is, like, with Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One, that, as you mentioned, like, a kamikaze pilot, yes, somebody dishonoring themselves in the war is something that can transcend cultures, but a specific, this event coming back to this location has to be told from a Japanese lens.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's a concept that, like, I'm surprised it wasn't more of like a controversial thing that was why that's what that character's backstory was. But it's like so very specific to Japanese culture and very specific to their history that it's just like so. Yeah, and
I think that's also like, and it kind of bleeding back a little bit on topic. So like the kaiju films that are kaiju for the sake of being a kaiju movie are going to fall to the side and be nothing, because I think that kaiju films, even though they are action and or horror-ish adjacent, they almost ironically are the most drama and like period pieces, because the kaiju doesn't represent just a giant monster. It's how did it come to be? What is it? Whether it's fighting. This is something I even wrote down too. So in the trailer for Kong vs. Godzilla, or King Kong vs. Godzilla on this film, they're like, Godzilla's got this tiny brain, but Kong's got this, gorillas have large brains and everything. To me, that came across, and I'm assuming that film was probably more American made. That felt like something that was a bit of propaganda. That is saying the American Kong is thinking, it is well-knowing, it is well-versed, but the Godzilla, the Japanese version, it is just pure hate and destruction.
Yeah.
Like, whether that was how it was meant or not, knowing the context, and I bet you look at the era, I will bet you there's some subtext into it. I think kaiju films are best when the kaijus have a history like that. Like, that's why I think the first Pacific Rim film was so good, because that was a film that, yes, that was robots versus monsters, which was awesome. But it was a world fighting for survival. It was about redemption.
All the countries around the Pacific Rim, the titular Pacific Rim, Russia and China and Japan and America coming together to fight this other threat. Yeah.
Yes, and even too, like, the idea of, like, I mean, literally, to control these robots, you had to bond with somebody. And yes, someone you're related to has a chance, and there's, you know, connections like that, but the film is about him connecting with somebody from a different culture, from a different upbringing, you know, and learning those life. And honestly, too, I mean, the whole point was like the reason why it was so hard for her and him to connect were because you had to take on the traumas of the person and take them, digest them, and understand them. And that was such a key integral moment that, and again, too, like, the fact that somebody controlling one of these giant robots on their own was such a feat. It's almost like you could take that and be like, the power of somebody fighting a battle without help. Yes, you might be able to survive, but it's going to cause such irreversible damage that you cannot fully recover from it. Yeah.
My favorite Godzilla, the legendary one, the second one, King of the Monsters with Ghidorah. After the first movie, all these giant monsters, I think they call them Mutos, which is like, yes, there's an acronym for it or something like that. But like, they start arising after the first one. The first one is Godzilla and some like weird original monster called the Mutos. But like, after they realize that everywhere Godzilla and the other monsters have passed, like, all the nature from the radiation that they produce, all nature has been like recovering the city and everything like that. So like all these plant growth and everything are like excessive happening over all the land. And the main antagonist besides King Ghidorah, who's fucking the fucking goat in that goddamn movie, an insanely powerful three-headed dragon. You guys see that movie? The actual villains are a terrorist quote unquote organization that want to release all the Mutos around the world, like Rodan you saw in the movie, Ghidorah, Godzilla, released all of them simultaneously to fucking wipe out humans and have the planet retake itself organically, because the actions of these kaijus is actually like reversing global fucking like catastrophes that humans have caused and all kinds of like land and like stuff like that. So, but those are the antagonists.
So basically, it's Legend of Korra villain. Like.
Yeah, literally like Spirit World, and then like fuck the humans. Release the Spirit World.
All right, I'm not going to go into anything else. I will not give any spoilers away. But, like, you know, we're talking about this.
Also, have you seen the thing about Korra, the next series?
Isn't it, like literally, like, they are no longer nations and it's, like, individual?
I mean, that we don't know, but we know that what Korra did in the series irreversibly fucked up the planet, supposedly. And of course, they're saying that Korra was the worst avatar to the new avatar.
I mean,
that feels like it's just a gag.
People say that about Karak.
Yeah, people say
and Kyoshi literally.
We definitely went over that in the podcast.
Yes, until Kyoshi learned what he did.
Yeah, for the people. I think that's probably like a meta thing about people not liking, or people being divisive about Korra for being different from Aang, and also the rough time that she had because of all the crazy shit she went through. Oh my god! We literally. I mean, I listen to our Korra episodes. We go on for hours, but the news shows about like people say Korra, but she ruined the planet or whatever the hell, and like, but like because she did so much that she did a lot of good.
At this point, by the way, she's the only one who could be connected to the newest.
Yeah, she's the one who give them advice allegedly. Yeah, we'll see. But I don't. But yeah, beyond that, yes, kaiju movies are wonderful when they're actually about something specific. I
would say it's not kaiju, but the last Defense Academy that I've been playing, the 100 line, that game is. You mentioned, some of these things, and again, without going into hard details, because if you have not played this game, it is genuinely incredible, and I've been putting a lot of time into it, and there's so many, oh my god, it's insane. It is, I joke, but it's the truth. This feels like a campaign that you would make, especially when you first hit a certain point, and you have to make these decisions that are genuinely difficult to make. It is a simple yes or no question, and it is difficult to fucking make.
Hell yeah.
And And that is, I found too, saying yes and saying no completely alters how things go.
Good.
In such a crazy way. But that game touches on so many topics and focuses on these things. I mean, it's obviously the guy, it's similar creators to Danganronpa, which is its own deep conversation of the things. But like, it's games that in movies and media that touch on these topics, and like I feel like sometimes too that it's a forgotten art, is that a natural disaster doesn't need to actually be the disaster itself, and that a monster with ties to something can both be fun to watch and also like something that you'd resonate with.
All right, so yeah, I completely agree. The actually having a point to the monster stories is good. That's one other reason why I love King of the Monsters. I don't know, despite its bad reviews, I would say
even that like what 4-minute trailer you showed me, or
of the
film
after the Rodan bit.
I will say too, like, and we'll get to it when we eventually get to the movie.
Yeah.
Next, do we break?
Might as well
baseball?
say I mean, listeners, if you think that we're gonna continue on with a fucking 9-hour episode or whatever the fuck this would end up being, we're gonna obviously take a break in a bit.
Yeah. So like when we talk about it, we can talk more. But like something that I got from the Rodan trailer was, I think I mentioned earlier, it was not purposefully destructive. It was just so powerful that its mere act of existence was destructive. And the version you showed me from the newest one, it came across as that. Like all this town is freaking out. The monster didn't pay attention at all to the town, really. So there's a little, whatever, but it paid attention to all to those planes.
Yeah.
And straight up, it's just moving over this town caused mass casualties and destruction. Whereas like the Ghidorah, it was Ghidorah that was in this.
Yeah.
When I don't know what it was, but that felt like that monster was purposefully being destructive.
Yeah.
Whereas Rodan was just such a powerhouse that it was naturally it was literally a natural disaster in a living being.
Yeah, I would say spoilers for the actual movie. Remember the guy in the trailer, or the guy in the Rodan modern clip, said, okay, like that monster in the storm changed directions and it's coming right for this one. It's either coming for food, a fight, or something more intimate. Godzilla,
food, fight, or fuck.
Ghidorah's coming for one of those things. If we like the clip I showed,
is that monster in the storm?
That's Ghidorah, yes.
Okay.
There's two versions of that clip I wanted to show you. One that starts like at that line and then goes forward. I wanted to show you Rodan coming out of the cave and everything. 2 seconds after the clip ended, Ghidorah comes out of the fucking storm, tackles the fuck out of Rodan, knocks him the fuck to the ground, and like all of its heads are literally like causing destruction because it is an absolute. And spoilers for all of Ghidorah's history. Ghidorah is not from Earth. Spoiler for King of the Monsters. They find this out. He is not part of the natural order that the other kaijus are creating.
Is he the one that goes to Mecha, isn't he?
No, there's later robot versions of him. No. You're thinking of, Mecha Ghidorah is a later thing.
Oh, see, that is something that does get a mechanized form.
Yeah. Ghidorah does get a mechanized form later on in the series, and also the spoilers for Godzilla vs. King Kong. For some reason, idiots use one of Ghidorah's severed heads as the basis for the Mecha Godzilla, and he just fucking takes over the Mecha Godzilla and starts killing people, which is fucking awesome. But no, yeah.
I can tell you that's a bad idea.
Yeah, the premise for fucking Transformers we did also.
Oh god damn that fucking movie.
Yeah, but no, the Ghidorah.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, Ghidorah fucking shows up. It's not part of the natural order, so the terrorist plan is never going to work. So it's just destructive and has control over other kaijus. But it's fucking great.
Then that even makes it more interesting because it's like that was purposefully being destructive, and hard looping back to our main focus of trailers. The Rodan trailer came across again as a living being so powerful that just its mere existence is a natural disaster. Yeah. The Ghidorah came across as this thing is purposefully being malicious and destructive, not because it is by its nature, but because it wanted to be. So you saying that is actually very interesting because that is how those trailers presented these two monsters from the same franchise who are under the Godzilla Kaiju series. But the trailers gave me that
You knew that Ghidorah's a villain. Yeah, Ghidorah seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Whether I knew he was a true villain or just came across as trying too hard, I mean, really, aren't all villains just people trying too hard?
Yeah, pretty much. But the actual, and also whenever we get to it in a billion fucking years, the actual story of that Rodan movie is not. It's not conveyed at all in that trailer. It's very weird. I'll tell you that. We'll get to it someday. But
someday.
But
we'll talk about the actual movie.
One of these podcasts.
But it is not this day.
Not this day. But not this day. Okay.
I am no man.
The other topic next thing I wanted to get to was actual video games. The first one I mentioned is that Godzilla 2018 video game I mentioned. Incredibly expensive and rare now. Very fun. It has
Give it to your Uncle Matt.
Hell yeah. It has Rodan, it has Ghidorah, it has Mechagodzilla. It has several of the, there's 3 or 4 different Mechagodzillas narratively. Space Godzilla is fun. Biollante, Destoroyah, Mothra. My number one favorite, Batra. Fucking dope ass evil Mothra named Batra. My main in that fighting game. Legit, very fun. Yeah.
I've never played obviously that game, but I do own. I got it as a gift, and I was terrible at it, and I don't think I unlocked anything in it. The 2003 GameCube game, Godzilla
Destroy
Fight.
All Monsters or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell
yes,
yeah.
where you have Godzilla and 3 other monsters. You have to unlock the other 12 dozen or whatever. And I think I barely could beat the second or third. Mm-hmm. I was terrible at that game. I'm curious if I could actually be any good at it now.
It's fun.
But I remember that game I do remember that game specifically.
Oh yeah, that game's famous. I'm pretty sure. It's it has a fighting scene now. The next one in the genre of the fantasy epics, obviously the fucking GOAT, like I've said of everything else today, God of War.
Oh my god, that game is incredible.
An incredible fantasy epic of fucking Greek storytelling, a great interpretation of those myths, and then all to the fucking new series with the fucking God of Boy. I've
not played the God of Boy games yet.
Really?
It's just been getting a good. It sounds so terrible to say because I'm sure I could find it for $20, but that feels at the moment is that's too much for me at the moment.
The first one's pretty old now.
So I want to play them and everything. I actually, when I got my PS3...
One of these days.
When I got my PS3, it was because God of War 3 was coming out.
Yeah.
So it was actually Arbok who let me borrow his PS2 and his copy of God of War. And he told me I had these the speculation of me borrowing his PS2 and copy was I had to play on God mode.
Yeah.
I sadly cannot say that I beat the game on God mode.
Oh.
But I made it to the final boss, and I did make it to the second part of that Ares fight.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think there was one time I came this close. I did not get a chance, sadly, to beat it. I don't remember if I did actually beat it on that God mode or whatever mode the hardest mode was.
Did you play the actual...
On 2.
Did you play 3 or 3?
I played 3.
Okay.
I
fucking love that intro. Poseidon and the Titan is so cool.
The PS Vita... or whatever version, I played that one. I feel like where your final boss is Persephone.
Yeah.
In the Field of Elysium. I played that one, but I never played the God of. I played all the Greek. I'm pretty sure I played pretty much all the Greek versions of God of War.
Was it Ascension? Was the one with his brother, the mid-cool one where he goes to Hades?
I don't think I played that one. Then.
Yeah, I think it also had. I think it had a port. It was originally, I think, on PSP maybe or something like that, but then got a port to the system consoles, I think.
This sounds right. But yeah, I played 1 and 2 especially, and then 3. Those are 3 I remember
3 fucking rules.
Honestly, I felt like that it did. I know, overall, people talked about it. I thought 3 was incredible.
Yeah.
It was worth buying a PS3 on time for.
Yeah. That's also narratively, if you really get to... Well, hopefully most people get the message that Kratos is a piece of shit, and that's the point. But,
yeah, I mean, he's genuinely, you could argue that 2 and 3's existence undermines 1 and extent.
I mean, the people. Okay, there's amazing tons of podcasts, and tons of discussions about it, and also the creator's actual own opinions on it. Which he was a piece of shit from the beginning. People say because he was literally a fucking mass murdering psychopath who just happened to be mildly tricked when his family was put in danger of his crazy psychopathic fucking killing spree, and then he's like, "Oh, Ares, this is your fault." And then from that point on, he's gonna become like more of a piece of shit, killing people who don't really deserve it, and saying, "This is your fault, Zeus," and like culminates in the hilarious scene in 3 where all of Greece is in ruins, plagues and the storms and destruction and earthquakes. And he's like, "I can't believe Zeus did this," and it's just like he literally did all of that.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Definitely, and like, yeah. I mean, the first game, I feel like all 3 are good, and I feel like it is
love them. Yeah.
Yes, and you don't think about it somewhat. His appearance is literally caused by him suddenly having to deal with the consequences of his own actions.
Yeah.
I mean, the ashes of his family are baked into his skin.
Yeah.
And that's not like glossed over. Yeah, the games are incredible. I think all 3 are incredible. Mm-hmm. And I love to like, because you're like, oh, he ruled as the new god of war. But like, what is the god of war but some like, it almost ironically too, like 2 exists. The opening is literally you being the god of war.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
And also too, like, what is Ares' downfall? Like the most negative thing about him is that his existence is based upon the continuation of war.
Yeah.
So would it not make sense that the person who usurps him also has to continue war to be able to justify his existence? And like, because it's different if it was taking over Athena's throne.
Yeah.
Athena is not just a god of like strategy anymore. It is of wisdom. Yeah. Even Zeus himself is the god of all kind of thing.
Yeah.
Poseidon, the god of the sea, Hades, whatever. But like god of war has a purpose. That would be like if Dionysus had to like cure alcoholism, go to AA and cure alcoholism kind of thing of people. It's your purpose here is. Sorry. I don't know if I got it or not.
If I did it actually real editing, I probably would warn the people listening to the headphones right now, but oh well.
Surprise!
Pay attention. We're almost at 3 hours.
Wake up! But like, yeah, Dionysus, your job is, spirits and parties. You can't fucking, say that everyone needs to go to read a book and go to the library all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to you got to make sure that there's keggers still going on.
Yeah.
So I like that. I love God of War, and I think too, like it's also there's just I think that the finale of 3 is genuine. That and the opening of God of War 3 were both genuinely masterful.
Mm-hmm.
You get the full, because one thing that game does really well and it talked about, and it's a little off topic, but what else is it in our podcast?
Yeah, of course.
Tutorials in games.
Oh yeah.
Those all 3 games, you are overpowered to learn the tutorials of what you need to do and what you will do, but it does not define the gameplay. In a sense, it defines the concept without going into the details and the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
But like, I think that the 2 things I remember the most from God of War 3 is literally killing Poseidon from his own point of view.
Yeah.
Cowering against a rock as you bash his face in, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you finally do kill Zeus, it's not the same way the rest of the game is. It is from Kratos' perspective. It is putting you in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
You are the one doing this and continuing this. Just because it is Kratos and the God of War, you are the one doing this.
Hell yeah.
And continuing this violence.
Oh my god! And also, I want to gush about the new games, Dad of Boy, because they are the narrative in those fucking games, man. Do you know anything about them besides that they're in Norse area?
I know that they're Norse. They're Nordic, Norsic. What's
Norse
mythology? They're Norse mythology, and I know that. And I know too that everything he did isn't it canonical still?
Yeah, it's the same Kratos.
So yeah, it's the same Kratos. So everything he did to the Greek gods is known, and I know that he's got a son, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah. Don't look up anything. Don't hear about.
I know
anything.
I also know he has like not. It's basically he's a Stormbreaker.
The axe.
His axe is basically
axe.
a Stormbreaker.
Yeah, it's a different. Yeah,
whether it's called it or not, it's Stormbreaker.
Yeah, the go in, no information. That fucking game is the narrative. The gameplay itself is immaculately incredible. The narrative is fucking peak, wonderful storytelling.
Is there going to be a third or no?
Yeah, there is definitely going to be.
Okay,
but yeah, besides that game, there was a game recently on sale on PS5 or PSN called Sun and Bone. It is a very, practically indie, low budget Doom clone, but you are playing as a cowboy and you are transported into a world of dinosaurs. And it's literally all the Doom mechanics, all the Doom speed, all the Doom fun, crazy weapons, but you are like a cowboy era person fighting all these crazy ass dinosaurs and raptors and ceratosauruses, all kinds of dinosaurs. It's just like running around like Doom.
So is the Valley of Gwanji?
Gwanji. Did you not hear that?
I did not notice that.
It's so funny. It's so weird.
I was still. I mean, every time they showed it, it was the big V.
Yeah,
and
big
also,
V and then Gwanji.
The Gwanji, to me, that text looked like the same font that Gwar uses.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an influence. Valley of Gwanji.
I feel like it is because
that's one movie that I really wanted to see, and I'm glad that I did. Narratively, it's a very fun story. But I'll get to that.
Is that polar ice caps or frozen people or anything?
No, it's a secret. Spoilers for Valley of Gwanji. It's literally a secret valley that only some Romani, or probably has their inaccurately called in the fucking movie Gypsies, know about. That is full of prehistoric creatures.
So it was a lost world.
It's a Lost World movie, but these cowboys find out about it. They get the information out of the Romani, and then they go to that area. They capture an Allosaurus, and it's Gwanji. But that movie.
That was the one I remember. One of the things I remember the most because and I'm sure we'll touch into it more.
Yeah,
next time we record and we get into the actual whatever. But a lot of them did have the same feel, and that was one that literally I was like, oh, this is something different.
Yeah.
This is, the cowboy aesthetic was noticeable. And whether it was because of what it was around or not, it stood out.
Yeah.
I did make a good joke, and I'm going to say it here, and I'll say it again next time we record. I was like, it's Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs, the sequel, the prequel to Cowboys vs. Aliens.
Yeah, the movie with the most insane viewing circumstances me and Ed will never go into.
He shot him.
Oh, God.
Donkey.
We can't. We're mature adults now, Ed. We're both mature adults, and that was the horribleness of the past.
Honestly, we fucked up because
yes, that movie was so mid. We really should have stayed.
We should have because listen. I mean, the two examples I still remember, I won't throw the voices, but because that would be extremely insensitive, and I'm an adult now. But truly, I realized too, looking back, when I saw Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Yeah.
Spoiler, by the way, for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. The things I remember the most, outside of literally having to run out of the theater because I was going to pee myself at one point, because I had a literal laugh out loud moment when Michael Sheen did the my cheeks puffed and I tried to hold back a laugh and I could not stop it. I laughed out loud and I had to run to the bathroom because I was about to pee myself. That and then the fact that these two old ladies who during the Breaking Fire, I think it was Mockingjay Part 1.
Yeah.
It was a teaser, so it was just the symbol and then Mockingjay Part 1. They're like, that wasn't a trailer at all.
They don't respect trailers like we do in this 3-hour podcast about trailers.
Exactly. That, and then during the incredible fight scene, which we will go into because that will be down the line someday, that film. That's not my next movie, but that is on the list someday. When Seth gets killed. They killed Seth? I don't like this movie anymore. I remember that. I don't remember. They made more comments, but I remember that one distinctly.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember I have no idea who these characters are, but it pissed them off. They've been annoying me, entertaining me, and they made a mention of it, so I will remember that forever.
Yep.
A Jaws ride, a ride in Universal Studios of Jaws.
Yeah, I think I just looked it up with Cowboys vs. Aliens. That was 2011, so we were 21. So yeah, we were fucking dumb college kids.
Yep, 21-year-olds.
Oh yeah,
dumb college kids. That's it. But not adults.
Yeah, no.
Not legally able
to
drink.
Children even.
To be fair, I could. No, you could drink at that time. I may not have been able to drink.
Probably not. No.
It depends on what month it came out in the summer. Because it was a summer movie. I
Oh
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
much.
yeah. Yeah, definitely summer because we were seeing fucking like 20 movies a day that summer. That was probably in the arc of like John Sally.
Was that what? Was
I
that
think we went
Dark
to
of
go
the
see-
Moon? We saw that.
I think it was some Transformers movie. Probably
It was a Transformers movie. I
Probably.
remember that.
Well, honestly, look up what Transformers movie came out in 2011. What other games related? Have you ever played any of the Disaster Report games?
Which games?
Disaster Report. It's like a Japanese series that's very, very comedically weird. It's like you're like a person in an area that's having like constant disasters, like floods and earthquakes and tornadoes and stuff. You're just trying to escape the city.
So it's Sim City from a different point of view.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's like a series of games. But there's a spin-off series called City Shrouded in Shadows that is actually like I don't know how they got the licenses for it, but it's like. Instead of disasters happening in this weird Japanese, it's like Deadly Premonition and those kind of like janky weird Japanese games.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those, but like instead of a disaster report, it is actually all these kaijus that are from actual official things like Ultraman, Godzilla series is in there, and a bunch of other stuff. Evangelion stuff. Like it's like they're like all these monsters are attacking the city, and you're like one of the comedically bad disaster report people trying to run away and escape and take pictures and report on what's happening. But it's like Ultraman fighting some kind of like weird giant monster, or like Godzilla fighting another kaiju, and you're like just like a human running around trying to escape them.
Huh?
It's very 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 weird, very fun.
You know what? I mean we've got a lot of episodes talking about it.
Yeah.
Technically,
also, it was Dark of the Moon was the movie like 2011.
Okay, I was right. Yeah. I would say technically, I'd argue could be considered a kaiju game, Monster Hunter.
100%, yeah.
So
according to the fucking shitty movie, it's a Lost World fucking fall into an AU isekai ass thing.
Yeah, but I kind of mentioned this in passing, but I think this is a moment we can talk about this. So we mentioned it. You even mentioned in your podcast, the talks about how like the ancient Wyverians or whatever, like in the movie they they controlled or whatever. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds straight up is like, the ancient Wyverians created artificial life that somehow still exists to the point where they made a monster extinct, but it has now come back because it evolved outside of its artificial life, and everything, and it is.
And we did say, we're here to say we regret our words and deeds. If that terrible Rathalos at the end of the movie was a Guardian Rathalos, that would probably be proportionally more stronger than anything else in the new or old world at the time.
Yes, but it definitely was not, because it was a very dark color.
They are
noticeably.
I said I thought it was fucking blue when it was in the rain and shit, but then it was very obviously a normal colored Rathalos when it was outside of the fucking in the world fighting planes and shit. Yeah, also, the Nursilla bit, I think that the Nursilla eggs are way bigger than they would have been to fit into TI.
But, I mean, the fact
they are a baby and mechanic.
The fact that there was a baby Nursilla.
Yeah, very funny.
I love that. I saw that. I was like, wow. I mean, literally playing that game, I was like, we called so many things.
Yeah.
And even, too, like, talking about the environmentalism. Like, Monster Hunter Wilds straight up is even more environmental because they are talking about, like, this environment, even if there's an art. So, like, spoiler alert for anyone who's not played Monster Hunter Wilds through the full story, but there is basically like the whole area the game takes place in is being fueled by an artificial power source.
Yeah.
But that at the same time, there's a natural ebb and flow of nature into it. And even too, like I know you're not a big fan of Utuna, but New Udra and Rei Dao are all like naturally shown in the environment because they even mentioned like fulgurite is all over the first area, where Rei Dao has fulgurite crystals that it uses as its natural to become the apex. The Utuna, like, yes, it is just a big bloated thing, but it is clear that and maybe this is just ironically, somewhat they didn't touch on it enough because they had to focus on some of the other stuff. And maybe there's a budget. Maybe honestly, I hope we get more later on because I'm wondering, like, one of the biggest mechanics in the game that confuses the fuck out of me is the Uthduna has these weird like veil things that you can break open and get rid of them.
Yeah.
But when you hit it, it is a different color for damage, and it has a symbol next to it. They never go into detail on it. And I'm wondering, is it this big bloated thing because it just naturally absorbs the water, and that's why it shows up during like the heavy rains and everything, and it's areas that you fight in when it's not outside of that is all water based. That's just its natural and whatever. Similar to how the New Udra is literally coating itself in tar. Like they mentioned that's how you break it open. Is when you break off the tar, it's no longer fire infused, but it is something that is naturally occurred and feeds off the energy. And the whole thing disrupting everything is the Arkfeld stealing the energy from these the natural occurrences. Yeah. Like, and I think Monster and again, this is probably one of the best stories I think I've ever played.
Oh,
I actually care about the story.
Yeah, the characters are all fucking great. The story, the world, everything. They have
the characters are fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Wilds
is absolutely fantastic. Also, I'm pretty sure I called Wilds World or Rise multiple times during that episode, but the game wasn't out yet, and their names do sound very familiar.
I didn't know for the longest time that Gemma was Little
Miss Forge. Yeah,
and there's apparently a moment or a costume or something where she's wearing a jacket that is the Caravanner's jacket from 4 because it is a reference to him giving it to her as she goes off on her own. Like, Wilds is incredible.
Wilds is fucking fantastic.
And I think Monster Hunter, like, the game play is obviously incredible. Yeah. We've talked about that playing. But I think, like, if you let's turn this back to, I guess not trailers, but kaijus and everything. Like, the monsters themselves represent nature in such a way. Because even, too, like, it's silly, I'm sure, like, you're in the middle of a fight and you have to wait for authorization. But at the same time, like, there are moments where you will get a thing where Alma will be like, you don't have authorization to fight this. You cannot fight this. It will not count. It's not an official quest.
Yeah.
I think that's a small moment that's not talked about.
Yeah,
and I think Monster Hunter is, whether intentional or not, I'm sure intentional, but like Monster Hunter Wilds is very much leaning into the talks about environmentalism and in the year of 2025 with everything going on.
Yeah.
Though I'm very curious because without going too deep into it, there is a escalation of conflict between Iran and Israel at the moment. Yeah. And something I noticed in a lot of these trailers is they talk, and obviously you mentioned Godzilla's history.
Oh yeah, a huge amount of these trailers is gonna. Yeah, the
radiation.
Yeah,
and
like I said, the average time period of these movies is about 56, but some of them are earlier, some of them are later. This is about only 10, 11 years after the fucking nuclear bombs.
Something like that.
Yeah, only a couple more before the original testing of them.
But even
did you see Oppenheimer or anything like that?
I've not seen Oppenheimer. Okay. Saw Barbie, not Oppenheimer. I
didn't see Barbie, but I saw Oppenheimer.
So together we are the Barbieheimer.
Yeah, bam. That movie is fantastic. Obviously, another Christopher Nolan movie. Yeah, that is a great way to experience the story of the bomb from another fucked up perspective. But yeah, like this movie is a very clear, or a lot of these movies, this whole reaction to everything that happened, is like, yeah, like fucking, I mean, we were making movies about, not about 9/11, obviously, but about the invasion of Iran back then, less than 10 years after that shit, for propaganda purposes.
Well, see,
immediately after.
I know a game that, ironically, I never finished it, but I did play it.
Yeah,
and I've heard that the ending is like one of those like hard mindfucks. Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh yeah.
Like that is I don't know any details hard on it, but I know that it is a game that subverses, from what I've heard, basically it takes the concept of American heroism in the Middle East and does a hard, like, deep turn.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, again, without giving details, like, Last Defense has a lot of great moments, and there's a lot of talk about, the concept of war.
Yeah,
literally, the game is about fighting.
But yeah, a huge amount of these is just American fear after the crazy bombs that they themselves developed and dropped. But still,
there's a lot of talk about radiation and all that, and anything that is not a Lost World or fantasy like action, like off mythology. They are literally, like, I joked at times as I write it, but I think it's even more whatever. Like, I think of like the one little, like, I think it was a Futurama skit or a Robot Chicken, where it's like, I combined all of the most dangerous animals together, and I've created man.
Yeah.
It's like man is the most dangerous animal of all. But like watching these movies, like. Yeah, the man is the most dangerous of all.
Like most of these things are just there's one of them. I'm not gonna tell you which one it is, but it's literally just an animal trying to get back to its house that it was taken away from, and it's causing all this insane fucking destruction.
Is that the Valley of?
Not Guanji, no.
Guanji?
Another one is like that. It literally.
Oh no!
I'll spoiler. It's one of the Spider movies.
Oh shit! I was gonna say I thought it would have been the baby one.
The baby. Oh yeah, there's a lot to talk about that one about the Lovecraft story. But if we're really talking about Lovecraft, it's tied to these eldritch monsters. Which are from the 20s, which is way earlier than any of these movies are. But
good lore, bad guy. Fuck Lovecraft. But you know what? Lovecraft can. I played a little bit of the Sinking Cities.
That game's very fun. Yeah.
Like it's janky as hell, but I enjoyed it. Even though that's actually playing that was what made me want to do. More Call of Cthulhu, which eventually we'll do someday.
What, the game? Yeah. I was gonna say also the what the fuck's the goddamn Conan the Barbarian.
Not Dave the Barbarian?
Dave the Barbarian, which we mentioned last episode, that you mentioned in the Victorious episode also.
Dave the Barbarian
we judged about how great it is.
That deserves to be mentioned as much
as possible, yes.
As Freddy Got Fingered,
Hell yeah.
if I'm being honest. I mean, that is as iconic of a show in my memory as Tom Green wearing a deer carcass getting hit by a truck. That's our Freddy Got Fingered moments.
But those movies were just, we're on the same wavelength for
3 hours.
That's our fingers. But yeah, the
Gordy.
Fucking the Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't think that's Sherlock. The guy who does whatever. The guy who does Conan's things. Another famous author, and Lovecraft. Like all the more fantasy in this genre. There's too much to go into, but there's just enough Lovecraft games. There's just enough Lovecraft influences in a lot of these weird ass movies. But those are more alien than actual like natural to Earth shit, except for like a couple of things. There's a very specific Lovecraft story, which is exactly that story with the baby and the I think that's Gorgo. Yeah, that's the Gorgo movie. But there's a very specific Lovecraft story that's also very similar to that. That was obviously written, like I said, 10, 20 years earlier. But yeah, we've gone on. Are there any other games besides Monster Hunter? Oh, Gigabash is a fighting game, a new kaiju fighting game that they have a lot of.
Gigabash?
Yeah, it's like an arena kaiju monster fighting game. It's like very like chibi art style ish.
Huh.
But they also have a shit ton of DLC tie-ins to Godzilla, Ghidorah, and all those. Like a ton of those monsters are in the game. It was free on PSN a little bit ago. Another game I picked up. Yeah, but another game I picked up a while ago.
Is there any other good? Like, are we talking about like
kaiju monster games?
I feel like
there's 1,000 Godzilla games from the past. The King Kong Skull Island game, the one that was competing with fucking Gollum for worst game ever to fucking release.
I've not heard of that.
It was a comedic. Like watch the Super Beard Bros fucking play that game. It is a janky. It came out like 2 or 3 years ago. It is the jankiest, most horrible running, ugly, glitch-filled piece of shit you will ever fucking see.
Okay, I've got 2 different games to talk about. One, I'll talk about real quick, and then the second one I know you'll talk about because you played them. I know you have, and I haven't. So I just searched kaiju games on Wikipedia. So one that I definitely think deserves at least a mention, Shadow of the Colossus.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely beautiful, fun as hell.
Yes, that is, and
wonderful.
I think that is another game that has a deep connection of
very cool narrative. Yeah, very fucked up narrative of what you're doing and how what you're doing is wrong, and people. It's great. It's fucking great. Did you beat the game? Or?
I did beat that game.
Hell yeah!
That final boss is a pain in the ass to climb up, but damn, that game is intense and fun. And honestly, I love the fact that you learn after the fact that you get. Like some of if you hunt lizard, you get more health.
Yeah,
that is the weirdest little thing to think about. But like, I love and I wish more games could do small things like that. Like, I love like the PT. Like we mentioned PT, and I think that games. I don't want to say games are too handholdy because, on one hand, I get it because I have kids and I've seen and I think back too. Like there's games that I've tried and played and like I don't fucking understand what I'm doing. And I can't get into them, and people's like, "Oh, this is the most amazing game ever." But like, I mean, literally, if what makes me not break into a game is I can't get past the tutorial, the opening, you know what? Hold my hand through the opening so I get used to things as what released me.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of exploration and trying new things and even too, like, I love, even though I'm no good at them, I love that people take speed runs and look for how do you do to break the game? How, like, the fact that you can theoretically beat the original Pokemon games by inputting, like, you start the game at a certain frame and you insert a certain name and then you go to the box and you just instantly warp to the Hall of Fame. And that's how you beat the game.
Yeah, that's
I mean, stuff like that. I love that. So I love, the fact that there's weird quirks into what you can do around here. Mm-hmm. That's genuinely awesome. I wish we got more games like that.
No, there's some weird, bizarre shit. I mean, hey, so they fucking we were talking about Death Stranding, the fucking weird ass mechanics in that game alone. What was the other thing we were talking about?
So the other game, and I know you'll have a lot to say about this, I'm sure, because I know you've mentioned this game before, is listed on here: Earth Defense Force.
Oh, EDF. Did you play any of those?
I cannot find a good one to get in on.
Was it 4 that I haven't spent a ton of time? I'll text you when I get home and I play. I see which one, but there's one of them. I think it's EDF 4. One of them was very bad that came out after that, so hopefully I'm right about which one it is. Fucking that game, those horrible monsters, the large, and then those terrifying humanoid-looking monsters.
Those are just bugs.
What?
Aren't they?
Huh?
Insects.
The monsters?
Yeah, aren't they?
Those are monsters. They're horrible monsters. So what are you talking about? I don't know what the word you're using, but they're monsters.
They're insectoids.
Get those monsters.
Are they insectoids, though?
I don't know what you're talking about. But the game is full of these giant monsters that are attacking. They're 6-legged. They have antennas. They have mandibles. They crawl around, but they're just horrible monsters.
I hate you so much.
And then they have these disgusting human-like aliens. They're so human. They have arms and legs, green ribbiting faces, and large eyes and like tongues. But these horrible human-like aliens. What are these human-like aliens? Yeah, they're like doink. Human-like aliens. Oh, that fucking series is great.
Damn it.
I think it was a newer one that came out recently that was actually good. Fuck, that game is so good. I'm gonna play fucking EDF when I get home. The random chants you can do, like the fucking random songs you can do with everybody in the team. Fucking the way that the programming ideology is.
You have to be the right one to get into then.
Yeah,
that's been one that I've wanted to get into, but I don't know where to get in on. It's kind of like how I felt Yakuza. Like I want to get in on it, but I don't know where in.
Yeah,
and like.
I mean, you can tell. I think technically they restart the plot like almost every one, but I'll check. I think it might be 4. That was and then like is 4 the one immediately after that's terrible, and then the new one just came out recently that's really great. But it's like a continuation of the story, so I'm checking when I get home. But yeah, EDF's fucking incredible. The funniest fucking story you'll ever fucking see in your life. It's so fucking good. EDF fucking rules. Goddamn, I can't believe you reminded me of that fucking snack. I gotta fucking re-download it when I get home. I fucking love EDF. EDF!
I gotcha.
Fucking great. Alright, so that's games. And at this point, we still got the clock. We see here we're at 3 hours and 25 minutes. And we say, you know what, Ed? I gotta get home and take care of my dogs. You gotta enjoy your free empty house.
Yeah, sure. I'm out for
get a list of all that homework I gave you for all those weird ass movies and games to try to find.
Yep. So,
but we're gonna cut the episode here.
This is actually a true proper we didn't just record for 6 hours and then you split it.
Yeah.
We are actually going to do our plugs and end the podcast and come back with time in between this recording and the second part of this episode.
Yeah, let our thoughts germinate.
This is literally the first official planned cut in a way.
Yeah, yes, 100% it is. This is probably longer than our fucking. This preamble section is longer than our Jack and Jill episode. What the fuck did I say about Jack and Jill?
That was a bad movie.
So, also, Ed, do you want to hold on to your next time until the end of the episode, or do you want to give it now so we can do whatever next time?
What do you think?
I think we'll give you till the end of my plugs to figure out what's our call.
You gonna tell me? Make my decision?
Yeah. Hey, I love that. My next pick is probably gonna be another weird decision for you too. But in the meantime, plugs.
Well, real quick, I'll ask you this before I think about this. So, are we next time we record here? It's probably next week.
Probably.
Do we record the back end of this, watch the film, and go record? Or are we going to record the back end of this and then record that episode on another day? Because I think that does change my answer.
I mean, it'll probably... I don't know. Is it, next week we can do my house if you're free to. I don't know if you're still going to be able to leave or not.
Until the 9th, I'm home alone.
Okay.
I start work until the literal last day of June.
Okay, so I would say if you can come over to my house to record, I don't know how free my place is going to be because we have to get rid of the dogs and the cats are going to be causing trouble the whole time. But that's hardly anything. I would say we would probably record the back end of this. Well, I don't know. Would you? I honestly probably watch the new movie, record the back end. Well, no, we'd do recordings in a row. I don't know what the fuck do you
We'd
think?
have to record this, and I think we would want to watch the movie and then
do the
record.
next movie.
I think that we want to keep focused on this.
Yeah.
And B, I think that if we were to do that recording, either we'd watch it advanced or we watch it right before.
But also, just like with this obvious insanity of my own making, you know how much I love to do excessive research before we actually get to the movie. And I wouldn't have time if we record immediately like we used to do on our like hour and like 10 minutes, 20-minute episodes. Back when this thing was restrained in any way.
Wait for our Freddy Got Fingered episode somehow only like 45 minutes.
I mean, I probably would have like fucking found a fucking Tom Green biography and read about it and then fucking did a bunch of research on fucking Rip Torn and a whole bunch of other weird shit.
I'll tell you what the movie will be, and I'll make sure to surround it. So if you want to chop it out of the episode and edit, you can. If you decide when you eventually feel like it, depending on how we record, and then that way, like either the movie gets introduced here and then again into the second part, or you put it into that part as well. Or
I would probably, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but if you tell me, at the end of this episode, I will probably cut it out, and then actually no, I'll probably leave it in, and then just not address it the entire next half of this episode.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is then, and I'll make sure to put it up for you. If you want to take it out, you can.
All right, perfect. All right, in the meantime, any plugs?
So the only really plug I got is still on Twitch, still streaming, and I broke it up with the day of I played the Iridium demo and then a round of Mythic Silver, or technically two. Back on Y2 Kaizo over on Father_Bohawk on Twitch. Do the Hardcore Nuzlocke still. And
I'm pretty sure you've been on that fucking Kaizo white one for like
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years
3
now.
plus years.
I'm pretty sure you mentioned it like way back in like the fucking Warcraft episode or before.
I'm sure. Unfortunately, I just started up Run 85. Run 84 died in the literal last fight against Colress.
No boy.
Like, there was that fight, there was the Shadows, and Getsis, and then I would have beaten all of Plasma. Oh. I had already gotten all the badges, and those encounters were insane. That run was my K-pop named run, and Subin the Walrein came in for 4 fights, kicked ass, and sadly did not get to make it out of Skyla's gym, and it truly was blessing the run. This is how much it hurt. Run 84 hurt. So not only was my Chandelure a modest 31 IV special attacker, so literally the highest damage output a Chandelure could have, I had a Hitmonlee, Adamant, and 31 IV. My Terrakion, 31 IV and Adamant. Literally the best attacking Terrakion I could have had. I had so many good encounters, and I lost them. I am on Run 85. I am learning about DC villains, and I'm having a blast finding all these weird-ass names. And I literally just got to Roxy yesterday, and I'm going to stream probably another 6... I streamed 6 hours yesterday. I'll probably stream like 6 to 8 hours tomorrow.
But now remember, this episode probably won't air till mid-fall.
So, I'm on Run 93, and man, the last few runs have been some decent runs, but this right here is the run, baby.
Hell yeah.
Father_Bohawk on Twitch. Someone set up Blue Sky. Fuck Twitter or X or whatever the fuck he calls it. And hey, if you're in the Cleveland area, Simply Servants in the Cedar Lee Theater still goes on the first Saturday of every month at 10 o'clock. I wear fun, crazy outfits nowadays. I'm the guy with the microphone, as I mentioned at one point in this episode. And Yeah, I've got. I don't know if you see them over there. See those pants?
Yeah.
Over there. I got a jacket as well. I wore that and my shirt to Pride. I literally had so many people compliment my outfit at Pride. It's like, I didn't expect to get this many compliments.
Hell
And
yeah.
outfit I found at the Goodwill. Though I gotta say, and it'll happen after this episode airs. So that outfit came with like a bralette thing.
Yeah.
So I went to saw the Soap Girls when they were here in town. I'm going to see them in Columbus. And I even mentioned to me, I want to get them a gift if I can find something at Goodwill. I know they love Goodwills. And she mentioned she likes, tops and everything. And I was like, she likes short tops or whatever. I'm like, you're talking about like, short shirts or like bra style and bikini style stuff. So like, I have this bralette, so I've given it to one of the members of the Soap Girls.
Oh, yeah?
So hey, listen to the Soap Girls and be sure to check out their tour when they're back in the North America, because by the time this comes out, their North American part of the tour will be done. They're awesome. They are awesome.
Hell
They're
yeah.
so awesome and so awesome with people.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Pokemon
streams. I'm gonna try to also trick Ed into streaming something besides hooking up the stream on the PS5 and either doing Night Rain or some Elden Ring or some other of the. We also do need to you need to do 100 multiplayer games. We need to fucking do a stream to do fucking multiplayer Monster Hunter streams.
Yes, we do.
Both of our fucking Twitches. Speaking of Twitch, Monster Hunter podcasts. God damn it, I'm so fucking tired. Matthew Lewis podcasts, Twitch, Matthew Lewis podcasts, Blue Sky, Matthew Lewis podcasts, YouTube, Matthew Lewis podcasts, Patreon, Matthew Lewis podcasts, everywhere. Listen to old episodes of Movie Garbage. We have a shit ton of episodes that need more viewer count. I don't know why Transformers is so popular. I don't know why Avatar is so popular. Get our other ones up into the fucking thousands, please.
Our Monster Hunter ones.
Monster Hunter ones deserve to be much more praised. It's one of our magnum opuses.
I hate listening to myself. I've listened to those episodes multiple times.
Hell yeah.
I think that those are some of our best episodes.
Yeah,
unintentionally and intentionally.
Listen to the Monster Hunter trilogy, which this is obviously already fucking rivaling somehow. And then
we did mention Monster Hunter in it.
A bunch, yeah, of course. Action Toon Bros. This is going to come out in the middle of our Fillmore and Metalocalypse dichotomy. Movie, fucking Minotaur King. Go buy my book, The Forgotten Minotaur King.
Listen to the Forgotten
Minotaur
King.
Listen to the friggin' Forgotten Minotaur King.
Crunturg.
Hell yeah, Crunturg.
Crunturg.
Hell yeah, Crunturg. Other projects, like always, still in development, but someday.
Crazy, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt your plugs here.
Yeah.
Like, the fact you wrote a book about the literal... was meant to be a one-off game, if you remember.
Yeah.
I want to make in 4th edition, you want to make a one-off, high-level game. And that's where Cruncher came from.
Fuck yeah.
And the character somehow grew into this massive campaign.
Hell yeah. An epic story and helped to build onto an epic universe.
Crunturg is truly the Forgotten Minotaur King.
He is the best. But yeah, that is going to be plugs for now. Everything else is settled. We are incredibly exhausted. We've both had a couple of beers. We're at the end of the podcast. We're at 3 hours, 35 minutes. Not talked about the movie at all.
There's tangential references.
Yeah, some tangential references, and we still have more off-topic, non-movie stuff that we're going to talk about in the next part of this, so get ready for that.
Absolutely!
Hell yeah.
So, by the way, does part 2 have to be longer or shorter than this one?
I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I cannot see how it could possibly be this fucking long. So,
well, now it's gonna be 5 hours long. You have to literally split up in one recording that meant to be split up.
Yeah, I was gonna say the proportion that we talked about of this bit of all these topics was like less than a fucking like 5-6 bullet points, and I have like every single one of the fucking movies. I have like a paragraph. Each of those dots is more information about the fucking movie and the development of the movie.
Holy shit.
So we have a lot more to talk about, honestly. So, but before that, we have to say our new movie. I may or may not cut out this part, so listeners, who knows, maybe you're going to know what I'm talking about. Maybe you won't for another several fucking months. So
well, if you're hearing me say this, then you know exactly what the next movie will be. It is a film that I don't remember how I learned about it, why I searched it up, why whatever, but is a film that I barely remember much about, but I remember that there was a weird-ass gay boy band scene.
Oh, God, what the hell?
Do you know what I'm thinking about?
Maybe. I have no idea.
It is, I'm pretty sure Wayne's brother is in it. Marcy X.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no! No! Oh
I
Jesus! Why?
own this film on Amazon.
Why?
Prime.
Fucking hell!
I watched this when I was with Carrie, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I bought it. I don't remember anything else. I remember I think it was a weird gay boy band spoof, and that's about all I really remember.
Oh, God.
Other than it came out in, I think, 2003. So I'm like, listen.
Jesus Christ.
We have had some crazy films, and I can guarantee you I've never heard anyone else talk about this film. And I feel like...
For good reason.
Well, listen, I also never heard anyone talk about Troll 2, which I think was a good episode. Not enough people talk about Freddy Got Fingered. And I haven't heard almost nothing about Monster Hunter, the movie,
Yeah?
since it came out. So,
Oh, boy.
I think this is going to... And hell, this episode has had how long and how much discussion?
Yeah.
And it's not even done yet, and I've never heard about it. So I think that we need to start leaning into these weird-ass films we've never heard. People don't talk about enough.
Oh, God.
Marcy X!
Jesus Christ. All right, well, that's going to be a real piece of shit. I know that movie. I've seen that movie, and I'm like, God, why the hell do I have to watch this again?
It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be
be
worse.
Terror of the Tiny Town, the second.
Yeah, I know. Another weird, bad comedy. Ed, thanks.
No problem.
I'm going to have to go even freakier than this piece of shit. All right, well, we will see you guys next time.
Wow!
What the fuck was that, Ed?
Like Godzilla noise. That was Godzilla for Oof Magoof. Oof Magoof.
Oof Magoof. Guanji.
It could happen.
You could happen. You could happen. You could happen.
It could happen.
You could happen.
It could happen.
You could happen.